Hello there, welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 740. That is 740 of the Agostino Zinga show. I am your host, Agostino Zinga, and I hope you're doing well wherever this podcast or live stream find you. I hope you are doing swimmingly. I'm attacking it on both fronts. Live stream, podcast, same time, same place. We're not delaying, we're chugging on. Today's my fucking day off from work, so I thought, why not hit you guys with content after content after content after content, recording after recording after recording after recording. Because guess what? I've got no friends. I've got no friends. I've got no friends. No friends, gang. Yeah. Big up everybody that's here. Appreciate all of you. For those of you who are worried and were kind of, preoccupied and stressed out about my teeth hygiene, I can let you know that I've booked in my surgery. Finally, my surgery's been booked in for the 30th, I think, of January. That should be good. So I should get everything done. I should get my, the hole in my tooth flipping, opened up and sealed up. I should get the nerve endings done because I've got to get a root canal because, I left my teeth in poor health. First time I've been to a dentist in a long flipping time. So I've got to get that done. And then, of course, I think the final thing is they're going to put some sort of cap. I have to decide which one I want because they're both really expensive, but I've got to decide if I want the one that is 100% porcelain or if I want the one that's got like the metal on the inside and then it's like porcelain on top. Or you know what I might do actually? I might see if I could just get like a sterling silver one. Just get like a silver, instead of having it, porcelain. I don't think you can get that because you're gonna taste it, but that'd be pretty cool. Like a little cap on one of my molars, get like a nice silver one. That'd be pretty gnarly. So I'm laughing. You'll see that massive silver little hit there. Or maybe I just take out the whole molar and put a little ruby in there instead. So when I'm flipping munching or eating, I've got this little ruby grinding away on the back of my flipping mouth. Maybe, who knows? But I got to sort out my British teeth, right? The only thing flipping English about me is definitely my teeth, so I've got to get that sorted out ASAP. I'm actually looking forward to it, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. This is a new era of teeth hygiene for me, and I'm going to take it seriously from now on because, getting to a point where my teeth need a root canal is pretty bad, pretty embarrassing, especially for me because I was considering going to Turkey and getting Turkish chompers. So, I probably should focus on just taking care of the teeth I already have instead of going to flipping Turkey and getting these teeth filed down just for the sake of it. I'm not doing that. So I can't wait to get that sorted. January 30th, I'll give you guys an update as it goes on. I might be incapacitated or whatever that flipping, however you say that word in Spanish, right? For incapacitated, but whatever, I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to do what needs to be done. I might actually do a little bit of a backlog in terms of content wise, just to make sure I'm not missing any days. But apart from that, I've been fairly decent. One other thing that happened recently that's really funny, I remember this is one of my triggers, right? This is really strange. I think one of my triggers sometimes is that I don't take kindly to people like just being rude to me unnecessarily in public. I don't take kindly to it, right? So I have these like weird, like kind of like, I do this like weird self-speak where I'm sort of like arguing myself. So I found, because sometimes I have a tendency at the slightest bit of like friction or like tension or like confrontation, I have a tendency to kind of just answer it with aggression as well. I'll kind of go crazy. It doesn't look like it because I look like a big soft teddy bear. But if somebody kind of starts to slight me in public, whether it's a train, somebody working at the ticket thing at the gates when you're about to go into a station, somebody working at a shop, like just one of those kind of interactions, I'll just kind of fly off the handle and go 0 to 100 straight away. So I realized why I do it because the other day someone kind of gagged me. I went to Lidl after I went to the gym in the morning, right? And it's usually empty. So I go into the gym at like 6 a.m. I go to Lidl to go buy some stuff for breakfast and shit. I leave. And then I guess because I was so tired, because it was quite it's quite a serious workout that I did. I guess I just left Lidl like in a bit of a daze. But as I'm walking out, the security guy stops me. And he's like, hey, you got to go, like, but I got my headphones in. He keeps pointing and saying something and pointing. I was like, what? I couldn't hear what was going on. Then I turn around and there's this like kind of like stud looking woman that's there, right? Like a black stud, right? A stud looking girl pops up. And she kind of says something to me like, and she does like a little snarky smirk sort of thing. That obviously sets me off. I then double tap my earphones, right? My little power beats. I give it a little tap. I stop her. I was like, what? And she's like, oh, you got to pay for your stuff. I was like, but I did pay for it. And I was like, oh, and then no, but then I decided, but I did pay for it, and I said something like, what? And she kind of like mouthed or repeated what I said, like what, something like that. She kind of, and then I couldn't realize what was going on. By the time I realized what was going on, she was walking back, and I started following her. And then when I got to the till, I realized, oh shit! In my haze of like, you know, my workout haze, I forgot to tap my card. Like I scanned everything, but I forgot to tap it at the self checkout thing. So then I'm trying to process, oh shit, I forgot to tap it. That's embarrassing. But then I'm also trying to process, did that girl just like mock me? Did that stud just like imitate me and just like kind of like, you know, like try and get like, what was going on there? So I had to kind of decide what war to pick, what battle to pick. Do I just pick the battle of like, okay, making sure I make it very clear that I wasn't trying to steal and I just forgot to pay and pay the stuff? Or do I try and pick this war and fight this stud? And I think to myself, hold on. I'm in the middle of a Lidl. I just finished a workout. My legs are tired. I'm literally incapacitado, right? My cardio is gone. Do I try and fight a stud in the middle of Lidl and then get washed? Do I try and fight a stud in the middle of Lidl and she catches me with a good right hand and I'm just like sparked out? So I've got no shopping. I've got no shopping. I just got sparked out by a stud and I'm tired and I'm covered in all like weightlifting chalk. I had to decide very quickly what to do. So I picked the easiest thing, which was just to pay for my items, paid for them. And then as I was walking out, I saw her again and I was like, what did you say? And she said, what? I said, what did you say earlier when we were walking in? And she said, oh, no, nothing. I was talking to my colleague. I was like, you're talking to your colleague? She said, yeah. And in that moment, I wanted to say, I thought you were talking to, I wanted to make something, but I couldn't get it out, you know? And I just left it. So I left it there and I walked out. And then when I was walking out, I started arguing with myself. I was like, why didn't you just say this to her? Why didn't you say that to her? And then I realized in that moment, oh, this is the reason why I react so angrily sometimes in public. Because I hate walking home with that inner speak, that like regret of like, oh, you should have said that. You should have said this. You should have tripped her. You should have slapped her. You should have pulled her by her dreads. Like all this stuff I'm thinking in my head I should have done, I didn't do in the moment, and I kind of regret it, obviously. So now I understand myself better. I understand now why I fly off the handle. I fly off the handle because I dislike having that self-talk. I dislike having to fucking, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's basically my last couple of days. I'm sat there thinking like, should I have slid on this stud? Should I have fucking weighed this stud in the middle of fucking Lidl at like 7:30 a.m.? Should I just weighed her in and then got arrested? Raggo, fuck it, free me. Because now I've got this internal dialogue that's going on where I'm like, did she just mug me off? Am I a fucking pussy to this girl? Did she absolutely sun me? Did she gag me? Did she leave me just like I think she did. I think the stud fucking read me like a book. Even though I pressed her after, like, hey, well, who are you talking to? Even in that moment, I felt like a bit of a loser. I felt like, am I trying to bully a stud or something? Like, I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird emotion, weird fucking roller coaster. I'm glad I didn't interact and didn't, you know, get into a physical altercation, because in that moment, she probably could have beat me up. I'm not going to lie, because like I said, I was fucking, you know, back squatting like 400 pounds and shit. Yeah, I mean, for reps. So last thing I could do was move. So I'm glad I didn't fucking do that. So big up the little stud who gagged me. You taught me a good lesson, which is I'm always going to react with violence now. I'm just going to go to the end. Fuck it. Just go to the end. Let's go to the end. But yeah, big up the stream chat. I appreciate all of you. Big up Bodybuilding News, Wagwan, Stephen Kelly, I see ya. Big up Fashion Roadman, Turkish Chief. Nah, man, they're not a madness, man. Those Turkish teeth are what I deserve. We all deserve that. As English people, as British people, we deserve Turkish teeth, because we all have terrible teeth here. The British standard, that's the one thing that kind of unites us. We might be a different race. We might have different religion. We might be a different sexual orientation. We might have different beliefs about the world, different outlooks. But the one thing that ties us all together is how fucked up all our teeth are. We've all got fucked up teeth. That's the one thing that ties us all together. And we deserve it. We deserve some Turkish chompers, some Turkish delights. If you don't want to go to Turkey, guess where you can go with? Bitch, you guessed it, Tijuana. Why not? Go to Tijuana, go to fucking Puerto Rico, go to Dominican Republic. You can go to all these nice exotic places, get your tan on, and then get your fucking chompers. Get your 2 rows of Johnny Bravos. Nyang, 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 nyang. I like that. Yo, big up Tracy Abbott. I see ya. I see ya. Big up Game Breed Footballer. I see ya. What's good? What's good? Some guy, I see you. What's popping? What's cracker-lacking? Let's bloody go. First things first I want to talk about. Right? This sort of stuff is funny to me because this kind of reminds me a little bit of the people that I kind of grew up in my ends, or the people that I kind of grew up with from ends, right? Or where I used to live, where my mum still lives at the moment. But then just generally just kind of represent a lot of like family trauma. Growing up in the household where basically feelings and emotions aren't really encouraged, where you're sort of like told to kind of bottle everything up. In one way, I'm kind of happy I grew up that way because I'm not some whiny bitch boy. Like, I'm not just always out here crying and complaining and asking people to have sympathy for me and always fucking, you know, complaining about something and talking about my mental health a million times. Like, that's lame, right? I think the people that actually do suffer from those things are the ones that suffer the most when people who just have a slight bit of inconvenience, who meet the one little hurdle in their life, automatically wave the fucking depression, wave the mental health fucking flag. The ones that actually have it are the ones that suffer because you take away the attention from them. You take away the resources from them because you just, you know, you got to work late because you fucking lost your fucking wallet. You know what I mean? Like, jog on. But I think in general, that sort of like tough, you know, British English stiff upper lip, that sort of like conventional machismo, toxic masculinity thing of like, you know, pushing all your emotions deep down into your subconsciousness, right? To the point where it doesn't exist anymore and it only maybe explodes later on down the line when you decide to fucking run your car into a fucking group of fucking pedestrians, right? That sort of rage is a good thing to keep bottled up because I think as men, you're meant to just kind of, you know, keep it moving one foot in front of the other. But I do think there's a beauty in being able to be emotionally open, vulnerable, you know, with your friends, with your other male friends. Like, if you can't do that with your family, if you couldn't do that growing up, then you owe it to yourself to do it with your friends, people you consider your compadres, your homies, your hombres, right? Your chicos. You should do it with them if you can't do it with anybody else. So I saw this clip and I thought to myself, this is incredible because these guys are probably older than me, and the lack of emotional EQ, the lack of emotional intelligence, the lack of emotional capacity, the lack of maturity in this conversation is startling, but it's also quite nice to see because it is representation of what regular guys are like away from trying to look like they're, you know, away from trying to look like they're progressive and evolved and mature online to impress the itches. In real life, away from all the fucking, you know, possibilities of whatever, impressing girls and stuff, this is how actual boys actually talk. And this, again, should be an example for all the women, all the men out there who are wondering to themselves, why is my partner unable to like express emotions? Why can't they tell me they love me? Why can't they talk about how they feel or their plans for the future, whatever it may be? Why are they so emotionally stunted? This is the reason why, because day to day, you're hanging out with guys, we're hanging out with guys who have the emotional range of a fucking, you know, I don't know, the emotional range of what? What's a good example? They have the emotional range, the emotional capacity. They have the emotional range of a mini fucking McFlurry. You know, not the big one, the mini McFlurry. You know that mini McFlurry? After like 2-3 spoons, it's already gone. That's the lack of emotional range that they have. I tell you, it's absolutely wonderful to see. So I'm going to show you right now what I mean, and then you're going to see Wagwan with the situation. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you, because this video legit made me laugh. Hey yo, big up Nerd Affiliate.
Leave us adult PJ shoppers alone. Ha ha. Unless Papa starts doing it.
Hey yo,
stop. Smiley face.
Big up Nerd Affiliated, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, big up my guy Rodeo Brito. Wagwan, bang your fucking chest. Bodybuilder News, what's good? Bang your chest. Eddie D, what's good? Bang your chest. And a guy, what's this called? Oh, Magico. What's going on with Magico? Anyway, let me show you what emotional range doesn't look like.
that was very touching. Yeah, my mum reminded me that I never had a desk, so I did my revisions for SATs on the stairs. But I don't remember it. She was like, yeah, like it was weird because every time everyone was walking past you, you're just on the stairs revising for your test.
You ever done the dining table?
We have never sat around the dining table and eating food.
No, I get that. You got a dining table.
There's no dining table in the house, bro.
In the kitchen.
There's no dining table. You don't eat in the kitchen. Everyone goes to their bedroom or everyone goes in the living room.
Why don't you revise in your bedroom?
Because my bedroom was my sister and my brother and my auntie as well. I'm talking about my old house.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Rash when I was 16, so I already done my steps.
Oh, okay.
Talking about when I was like 11. So I was revising on the stairs. So Mia's now got a desk, chair. So it's very like, rah, you've actually got a desk and chair.
Next level.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. I just lay down on the bed with my feet in the air, bro. Reading this AQA book.
I don't remember where I revised.
Yeah, now my mum reminded me. I don't remember either. There's bare memories that I've just like forgotten about. So when my mum reminds me, I'm like, oh snap.
That's fucking hilarious, right? That's hilarious because number one, I kind of understand this guy's lack of interest and, lack of, emotional vulnerability when his boy is kind of pouring his heart out about how hard it was growing up revising back in the day in a house where there was no desk, right? I can't understand why, because sometimes as dudes, especially guys from ends, especially immigrants, right? Especially minorities, we do sometimes have a tendency to eulogize or to sometimes lionize our struggle. We sometimes love to talk about it with almost poverty tinted glasses. We want that fucking, what's that movie with Will Smith where he's trying to fucking make it? Whatever that fucking movie is, right? We all kind of want that sort of storyline. We all want this kind of like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, got it from the mud type of story. And we want to make out that we were really poor. Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness. That we were really poor. We were really down bad. When really, we weren't really that poor. We really weren't that down bad. And we didn't really have nothing. Because nowadays, especially now you're older, or now that we're older, and you have jobs and stuff, you have relationships, you have your own families, you know what having nothing looks like. You have way more life experiences. You know what nothing looks like. But when you think about how you used to act back in the day or how you used to interpret your situation, you'd maybe think you were poor just because your mum didn't buy you a PlayStation, which is dumb because imagine if you got siblings. You live in a household with like 2, 3, 4, 5 siblings and you're expecting your parents to give you a PlayStation just for you. And then to get your brothers and sisters their own gifts. It's like, bro, of course you didn't get a PlayStation for your birthday because, they couldn't fucking afford it because there's 5 other mouths to feed. That doesn't mean you're poor. Doesn't mean you had nothing. It just means they couldn't get it for you at that moment. Maybe they might have got it for you 2 years down the line, 1 year down the line. You might have to buy it secondhand or something. But eventually you got it. So I do understand we sometimes like to, put our struggle or our pain on a pedestal. We want to kind of, again, maybe Monday morning quarterback our fucking hustle. I understand why it can be sometimes annoying. But in this instance, these young men, they look kind of old. This guy looks like he might be early 40s. Maybe he might be one of those guys that looks like he's younger, but he might be actually 50. They're way too old to not be able to have a mature conversation around these type of things. Now, I didn't see the context. This is like a 50-second clip. They could have been big up Wingus McDingus.
Big up has. Big up chat.
Me, I can take a hiatus. Me, I can take a hiatus. Woo! Me, I can take a hiatus. Swag. Me, I can take a hiatus. Woo! Yo, big up Wingus McDingus. Appreciate you. They're way too old. They're way too old not to be able, or he's looked way too old not to be able to put his fork down and just have a conversation with his boy about this, point in his life, this kind of like fork in the road moment, this kind of pivotal moment that his mum reminded him of that's making him appreciative of what he has now. Like, oh my God, look how far I've come. There was a time in my life where I used to have to revise on the fucking stairs. They're way too old for it. And of course, the second point, which I have to make, I don't want to make it, but I have to make it. This guy's eating fucking Chinese on a podcast. Who eats during a podcast? I've never understood it personally for me. I look at locals a lot, right? Wings of Redemption is a big one that I kind of check out. And of course, the Hassan Abi guy, who a lot of people online don't like. One of the things that I don't like about Hassan, even though I don't mind his streams, even though he has weird fucking opinions about politics and about the world and stuff, and he's a bit of a raging hypocrite. That aside, his streams are pretty hard to watch because he decides to just eat midstream. And I'm thinking to myself, isn't there a time before the stream or after the stream where you can eat? Or if you're really ravished, isn't there a possibility where you can just play a video and then just eat off camera? Or at least turn the mic off? Why do you have to slob on your fucking munch, on your rice, on your chicken, on your noodles, and fucking lick that shit into a microphone? Wings of Redemption does it, who's nearly 500 pounds, right? A complete, like, overweight, obese monster. And Hassan Albi does it, who's relatively in good shape. So it's not like a fat thing. It's just like some guys like to sit in front of a mic midstream and just start eating. Now, if you're doing a cooking show, and you're sampling some of the stuff that you're cooking and whatever it may be, or you're going to restaurants, that's completely different. I know what I'm watching. But if I'm watching you doing a podcast where you're talking about, hey, should guys pay for the first day? That time I went to the club and I got a table. Oh my God, did you hear Heady One's new single? If I'm listening to you talking about all these topics, I don't want to suddenly mid-episode hear you slobbering on fucking, what is it? Fucking chow mein. Right? And if I'm not mistaken, that looks like sweet and sour chow mein. This guy might be in his early 40s and he's eating lunch of a fucking 16-year-old. Who still eats sweet and sour chow mein when you're over the age of fucking 17? That's absolutely insane. On the podcast too. And you don't have the ability to put your fucking fork down, seal that little plastic container up and say to your boy, oh man, that's fucked up, man. How do you feel about that? And have some level of emotional fucking, some sort of electrical connection, something. What's the fucking term? Isn't it like lack of emotional fucking range or emotional intelligence? Isn't it like alexithymia or something like that? Alexi something, right? It's like a diagnosis people have, right? A condition where they're unable to have any kind of emotional capacity or whatever it may be, right? They can't relate to you. It's kind of bordering on that kind of sociopathy, psychopathy kind of level, right? So maybe there's a possibility that he may actually get in his fucking Range Rover Sport and mow down some pedestrians when he doesn't feel like, living one day. But come on, brother. If somebody's having this moment where they're actually opening up to you, maybe just put your fucking knife and fork down and talk. I never understood the whole eating thing on the thing. It's very, very bizarre. But I also think I'm going too far. I don't think it's all of those things. I just think this is a condition known as bad man. This is the condition known as bad man. This is a condition known as bad man don't dance, bad man don't laugh too much, bad man are never that too happy, bad man don't hug, right? Like, this is one of those kind of connections, you know what I mean? So in this kind of range, bad man don't show that their feelings are hurt, right? You just got to like bottle up and act like it's nothing. Nah, it's something, bro. The reason why he doesn't remember, it's like me. I don't remember some of my traumatic experiences in life. Why? Because they were traumatic. That's why I don't remember them. I do what every other guy does, and like on a Windows PC, I'll partition that shit. Is it partitioning, right? On Windows, there's a thing that you can do where you can partition the hard drive. That's what I do, bruv. I'll partition that shit. That shit goes over there. I don't fucking remember that shit anymore. All men do that, but guess what? It's not healthy. It's not good. When you're older, you should probably, like myself, seek some fucking psychological help. You probably should go to a therapist or do some sort of self-work. Obviously, we don't do it, and we wait until it reaches the fucking end point when we're in the middle of a fucking Asda, screaming into the sky and punching sales assistants before we get some help. But still, the point remains. You're clearly going through something. That's why you decide to fucking, control, alt, delete your fucking memory. You know what you're going through. So you would expect a little bit more of some sort of range there. But in this case, it doesn't make any sense. Let's play it one more time because this might be one of the most hilarious videos I've ever fucking seen. This lack of emotional range with these type of people, especially given how old they look, is fucking bizarre. They're acting like 17-year-olds when they've probably both got kids, mortgages, big group of, a big family, big group of friends, responsibilities. And here they are unable to emote, unable to connect, unable to, have any kind of sensible grown-up conversation. This is fucking brilliant. One more time with this video.
One thing that was very touching, yeah. My mum reminded me that I never had a desk. So I did my revisions for SATs on the stairs.
To be fair too, isn't this quite normal? I don't think we had a dining table in my house, and we didn't have much money. We were kind of poor as well. Everybody in ends is poor. When everybody in ends is poor, no one's really poor because you're all on the same sort of level, right? You're all fucking sharing sandwiches. You're all going to each other's houses because if one person doesn't have a games console, one person does. So you just go to that person's house to go play. Like, it's not that deep. And usually the mums know Wagwan. So if they see somebody looking a bit ratty, they'll with grace and dignity, they'll help them out, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Like, everyone just helps each other out. There isn't no really... Do you know what I mean? The richest person in ends is probably the kid that can afford an actual legit Nike tracksuit from fucking Foot Locker or JD Sports. That might be the richest person. But everybody's kind of on the same level. So I think most people didn't really have tables. If they did have a table, it was like a dining room table. But again, the other issue is if you've grown up in an Asian, in a black, or in a Caribbean household, even some of my Hispanic people out there, you will know if your mum has a dining table, most likely she won't let you do your homework on there. Or if she does, she'll make you fucking put a mat on top of the table so you don't mark it up. Like, your mum isn't going to let you just use the dining room table to do your homework and to start fucking, you know, marking shit with your Stabilo Boss highlighter. That's not going to happen. So she will actually tell you, no, go revise on your fucking bed. You're not fucking getting your dirty marks or your big pen biro all over my table. So most people in ends didn't have tables. And if you did have a table, your mum didn't let you use it anyway, you know? So we all had to work from the bedroom. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I think most people even nowadays probably, I bet you most people nowadays probably use their laptops in bed anyway. I bet most people spend the majority of their time browsing on their smartphone, on their laptops, in bed, lying down, on the side. Like, that's just what people do. Like, it's not that big of a deal, really.
But I don't remember it. She was like, yeah, like it was weird because every time everyone's walking past you, you're just on the stairs revising for your test.
Imagine having him as a brother. You're trying to fucking twang your mum to let you out, and he's on the stairs revising. Like, come on, man, you fucking neek, man. Stop showing us up. Let's do some madness, man. Let's do some badness, bro. You're here on the stairs, like, doing your fucking equations and shit, trying to pass your fucking accounting degree while we're trying to twang mum to let us out. We're trying to fucking manipulate, and fucking gaslight our mums to try and let us out. And you're there on the stairs, fucking solving, doing fucking Pythagoras theorem shit. Like, come on, man.
We didn't dining table.
We have never sat around the dining table and eating food.
No, I get that.
To be fair, I think most black families don't have dining tables. I honestly, it's not a good thing because I think, I grew up in a family where we had a dining table, but we didn't really use it to revise. And when we ate as a family, we'd eat in one room, but we'd all have a little tray. We had a little, like Americans have that. You know how Americans have that, like, fat person tray? That little thing that they have, the fat person tray. You see a lot in my 500-pound life. Like, they kind of waddle in the fucking room with a little tray, right? Or they have like a little cart thing. We'd have one of those and you just kind of sit eating that. And that was jokes back in the day. I only realized later on that in life that was like a thing that obese people have when they waddle in. So they can have all their fucking shit in one plate. I mean, the fucking mac and cheese, the burgers, the pizzas, all in one plate waddling in. And the big fucking glass of fucking orangeade.
You got a dining table.
There's no dining table in my house, bro.
In the kitchen.
There's no dining table. You don't eat in the kitchen.
To be fair, the kitchen was a bit of a vibe. In my house, the kitchen was a place where you could kind of like, gather your thoughts, chill. There was, I wouldn't say privacy, but there was some level of like, you could be, after people cooked, no one really hung out in the kitchen. So you could kind of do your own thing, chill, look out through the window and see nothing because there was a fucking, a fence there, but still, you kind of could see the outside world by just sitting on the inside,
Everyone goes to their bedroom or everyone goes in the living room.
Why don't you revise in your bedroom?
Because my bedroom was my sister and my brother and my auntie.
Yo, sleeping in the bedroom with your sister and your auntie is real poverty. He might have grown up actually poor though. I'm not gonna lie. He might actually have a real reason to tell this story because of his come up. Like, he might be really doing well for himself now. So he has a reason to pat himself on the back. Sleeping in a bedroom with your sister and your auntie is wild. Like, so what? Is that a bunk? So like, what? Your mum and your sister, your auntie and your sister are in the bunk bed, and where are you? On the floor? Are you like in a tent? Are you like on a futon? Are you got like a foldable bed? Like, what are you doing? That's wild, bro. Especially because they're 2 women, 2 girls too. So what? You basically can't be in there most of the time. You just have to just go in there and sleep, and then just like leave.
As well. I'm talking about my old house.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Ras when I was 16, so I already done my sets.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about when I was like 11.
He can't honestly. If you're gonna eat chicken chow mein on a podcast, you then can't have bits falling out of your mouth, especially when you're in your 40s.
I already done my sets.
Oh, okay.
Man's got like bits falling out of his mouth eating chicken chow mein. And also, if you're over 40 years old, you can't eat chicken chow mein on a podcast, and you can't wear your do-rag like that. You can't look like what's his name? Is it Guap Dad? Or who's that other guy? Who's that rapper that came up with fucking who came up with Tentacion, who wears it to the side? You can't do that when you're over 40. You can't wear your do-rag to the side like that, like you got a little fucking, you know, like you got a little dangling hair there. That's not it. That's only for the young kids. Only kids under 20 can wear their do-rags like this. When you're over 40, you just wear a classic sort of like R&B little scully thing, right? That's all you wear, that kind of Tyrese hat, but you can't wear a do-rag. You can't wear a do-rag, and you can't eat chicken chow mein on the fucking podcast. We got that right? Cool. Let's go.
Talking about when I was like 11. So I was revising on the stairs. So Mia's now got a desk, chair. So it's very like, rah, you've actually got a desk and chair.
Next level.
Just,
Next level. He just got his head down the entire time. Next level. As he's eating his chicken chow mein with a fork, by the way. No chopsticks, no sides, no sauce, right? No fucking anything. Just straight box of chicken chow mein. Or sweet and sour chow mein, it looks like. Can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine ordering? Like, imagine your lack of fucking taste buds. Imagine your limited fucking, palate of fucking food that you eat. That you're sitting there eating chicken, like sweet and sour chicken chow mein or whatever chow mein just in general. Can you imagine how much you don't fucking explore your taste buds or culinary delights out there, that the only thing you order is that? Fuck me.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. I had to just lay down on the bed with my feet in the air, bro. Reading this AQA book.
I don't even remember where I revised.
Yeah, nah, my mum reminded me. I don't remember either.
I don't remember why I revised. Yeah, because you probably didn't revise. Like the rest of us. We all didn't revise. I think the only time I actually revised properly, big up NJ Ranger. Appreciate you, brother. What's good?
King in the castle, I have a.
Big up fucking NJ Ranger. Big up NJ Ranger. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, what can you do? These guys are doing what they're doing. Emotional range is on minus fucking 0. It is what it is. There's nothing else you can fucking add onto it. I just found it incredibly funny that his boy is pouring his heart out, and this guy's out here saying, yeah, that's mad. Yo, that's mad, Wow, really? What? So what? You man didn't have a table? No? All right, cool. Nah, that's mad still. What? You guys didn't have a table? That's fucking mad. What? It's like, do you have anything more to say, sir? Apart from that's mad. Apart from rah. Do you have anything more to say, sir? Any more syllables? Any more words? Any more phrases? Any more sayings? Or is that it? Okay, cool. Great. Good to know. Good to fucking know. All right. Okie dokie. Let's continue, because I've got many more things here that I want to talk to you about. If you're watching the show live and you're enjoying what you're seeing, you see what you like what you see, right? And you're a fucking friend of the blacks, you are a compadre of the IC Freeze, right? You're respectful of MLK Day that just passed. I think our version of MLK Day is probably going to be Benjamin Zephaniah Day, right? RIP to him. That's probably our version of fucking MLK Day. Or when fucking Lenny Henry dies, we'll probably celebrate him, right? But if you're out there and you're a fucking fan of the blacks, right? And you want to show solidarity, you know what you should do? Like the fucking stream. That's it. If you're not a fan of the blacks, then of course, unlike the stream, that's perfectly okay. I'm perfectly okay with fucking discrimination based on color of my skin and my race. I think that's perfectly fine. If I can hate you for the choice of shoes you wear, and for your awful haircuts, right? And your choice of ugly mates and your really horrible looking kids, then you can also hate me for the color of the skin that I not choose to get born in. It's perfectly fine around here. Casual racism, perfectly fine. Perfectly fucking fine. So big up everybody that's tuning in. Appreciate you all. Always, always, always appreciate you. And we just continue going on. Next on the list here. Let's talk about this. So, I covered this pretty extensively on my podcast regarding Octavian and his former girlfriend and the really crazy domestic violence, dispute, abuse, harassment situation that went down, because it was a fascinating story. Because Octavian at one point, and this is not me being hyperbolic, but, you know, this is not me being using any terms of hyperbole in this regard. Octavian was legitimately going to be the next, the UK version of fucking Travis Scott. He had crossover appeal. He was embraced by all the streetwear gods. The kids fucking loved him. The sound was super unique. His voice was really unique. Everything was kind of going his way. And then, of course, the story comes out where he was involved in a really crazy domestic dispute with his on and off girlfriend at the time. And then she detailed loads of really crazy accounts of him being very abusive emotionally, both physically. She provided evidence in terms of texts and videos. And it just made him look like a bit of a monster. And I have to say, he might legitimately be one of the only people that I've seen from the UK who legitimately got cancelled. He actually got cancelled. If you think about it, he's never really made a comeback. He's never really been at the same level he once was previously based on those allegations alone. That's it. His career got completely tanked. The lady in question went on to do a documentary with the BBC, I think, which was really good. It kind of detailed, unfortunately, no, I say really good as a viewer. Obviously, it wasn't really good for her, but it was really informative, let me say, in terms of, exploring the really dark side of the music industry and what kind of goes on. If anything, that documentary was a real bummer to watch. I don't recommend you check it out. It'll really make you sad, because essentially what that girl was able to prove was that Octavian's label was complicit. Octavian's label purposely told her not to go to the police. They purposely dismissed the story. They didn't really treat it with any kind of seriousness. And if anything, the label themselves were complicit. The labels of themselves were the ones that somewhat enabled Octavian. Now, again, Octavian is responsible for his own actions, but that level of manipulation, that level of coercion, whatever it may be to protect their asset, is what kind of creates these kind of monsters, because they can feel like they can get away with murder. So obviously, that obviously will feel you a little bit bummed out. So it was surprising to read this, courtesy of the Shade Borough, that he got found not guilty. I guess not guilty or cleared. I'm not really too sure what the definition is, but the ex-girlfriend released a statement because of what happened. And it's a really interesting story, regardless, just to kind of talk about this overall and to kind of maybe have an understanding of what happens next now. Because if he has been proven to be innocent or he got cleared or whatever, what does that mean for his career? What does that mean for her? Like, what does that mean in general? Like, I don't know. It's just a really strange situation. So let me just really quickly read the caption here and see this. Former partner of Octavian, Hana, has released a statement following the rapper being cleared of all charges of abuse. The rapper's investigation, which spanned a 3-year course, found the rapper to have all allegations against him dropped. In her statement, Hana encourages victims of abuse to continue to share their stories. So let me actually read the actual statement from this girl, right? She says as follows. 3 years ago, I shared an incredibly vulnerable story on social media in a bid to claim back my identity after being abused and silenced. I had irrefutable evidence of a video, photos, texts, and NDAs offering me £20,000, witnesses, free confessions, and more to prove everything I went through over the course of 3 years. Despite this, a few months ago, the police finally rounded up their investigation to inform me that this would not go to trial because they did not feel he would be prosecuted if he went to trial. So he didn't get found innocent. It basically, they advised that, hey, if we go to trial, he's not going to be found guilty. You're going to have to go through the whole trial court process, have all these weird feelings drummed up again. You're going to be, it's not going to put you in a good place. You're going to have the scrutiny of the media, people commenting on social media. It's just probably not what you need right now. So I guess they told her to drop it, I'm assuming. And obviously with it being 3 years since it's happened, she's maybe moved on now. Maybe she's starting to heal. Maybe this is the best solution, for all parties included. But it definitely doesn't exonerate him, because it seems that the police advised her that this, he wouldn't get prosecuted if he went to court. So I guess he can't really say he's innocent, really. It continues. A quick Google search or just basic common sense will provide you with the fact that the justice system does not have the reputation of supporting and protecting our women against violent crime, which is true. I think, if I remember correctly, I remember seeing a stat. I think in the UK, less than 1% of rapes are actually convicted, which is a bit of a weird stat, because I guess the reason why it's there is because most rapes aren't actually even reported. I think that's the actual really scary part about it. Most, instances of, sexual assault, sexual harassment aren't actually reported. They're not, I guess women don't really want to go through with it. And the whole rape kit thing, how intrusive it is, how humiliating it may be, the trauma that it kind of brings up, PTSD, whatever it may be. So most, I guess, just try and move on without actually reporting it. But the ones that do go through that process of actually reporting it, less than 1% are actually convicted. Which is really crazy when you think about it. But it continues. But also, when you think about the UK and the sentencing and how some people, go to prison for like 30 years for weed crimes, and other people get fucking 5 years for touching kids, the convictions in the UK are all over the place. I'm sure it's the same in most Western countries, but in the UK is really it's completely unpredictable. Like, you can never really predict what someone's gonna get. It's really, really insane. It continues. Blah blah blah. Statistics on domestic violence convictions are heartbreaking. 3 in 4 cases do not see justice system against their abuser. They recently said that they are not jailing rapists because jails are full. The entire system is a mess. Conviction rates are reported to have declined at an alarming rate since COVID. Like I said, with all that in mind, someone who has moved out of the country is obviously sad to not be on the high priority of the risk of the victim. Oh yeah, because I think she moved to like the Middle East or somewhere, right? I think so. I think she moved to the Middle East. Over the last few years, I've refrained from commenting on the harassment and false narratives pushed by my abuser, because I have been focused on moving on with my life, and it's simply not worth my time or energy to engage in the baseless nonsense. To be fair, this is one of the reasons why I always believed her, because she was never a clout demon. She never approached this with the intention of using it as a platform to kind of signal boost or to have a career as an entertainer or whatever it may be. She just took part in that documentary of the BBC, spoke her truth, and basically disappeared from the limelight and just kind of does her thing on social media. But she never tried to turn it into like a thing. Do you know what I mean? That's where I kind of, I was like, you know what? She could easily have done it if she wanted to, and she probably would not have been blamed, especially considering what she went through. But the fact that she purposely tried to stay out of it and only responded when Octavian would come out and say whatever he said, and she would defend herself, was like, okay, most likely this did happen, which was, kind of sad, to be fair, on all parts. It continues. Because I wanted to speak out today, because I feel responsibility to other victims who've supported me and found themselves to not let the system down. A case not making it to trial does not mean that the accused has been proven innocent. Nobody can tell you what you suffered. Nobody can tell you what your body witnessed. Your trauma cannot be invalidated or validated by anybody. And it's not up to anybody to decide whether or not you deserve justice for what you went through. I was always made aware from the beginning of the likelihood of seeing justice through the system being low, but I had already got my justice. By speaking up and defending myself, I created a boundary and took my power back. I took a stand and let my abuser know that what he was doing wasn't no longer going to be accepted or hidden behind closed doors. I fought back, and as difficult as it was necessary. So that's very true, to be fair. As probably weird as it sounds, nowadays, there is the likelihood of getting somebody convicted off the back of a sexual assault claim, unfortunately, or abuse is not high, right? We don't really see many instances of these high-profile men going behind bars. But I guess one of the good things about Me Too, again, there's a lot of unnecessary bad things about it, especially some of the women who have kind of weaponized it, for the benefit of their, of their own ego and to kind of launch their own careers. But one of the great things about Me Too is the shame it's created. The shame around people basically knowing what you get up to behind closed doors, the things that you've done to people that you are meant to kind of love and hold dear, like everybody being aware of that. That public shaming is the best thing, because I think with some of these guys, their abuse, they like to do it in silence. They don't want people to know. So when somebody does go on record and say, hey, this person did X, Y, and Z to me, that can be just as bad as them having to rot in prison for the rest of their lives. And again, it's not much. It's not ever going to repair or to heal whatever damage this person went through, but it does go some way in terms of alerting people and letting people know that, hey, this guy is a fucking piece of shit. And that's the main thing that needs to be done. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is cancel culture in general, right? Because for me, there's more. Okay, cool. There's more. Sorry. Let me continue. I urge victims to do the same. No matter what, speak up. Tell somebody and fight for your right to be seen and heard. I do not regret going to the police. It makes a statement in ending the pattern of abuse. It is just one of many steps you take to let your abuser know that you will no longer be abused, to claim back your identity and to free you of the trauma, torment, and violation you did not deserve. The cycle may seem never ending, but there is an end, and only you decide when that is. And with that being said, I'm putting everything to bed today once and for all. Wow, what a brave girl. And what a mature person too. Instead of continuing to persist with this, she's like, you know what? Okay, cool. The court system is fucking shit. I've kind of got my justice publicly by, letting people know what happened. And if this is it, then fair enough. I've said my piece, but you all know Wagwan. Rah, okay, fair play. With that being said, I'm putting everything to bed today once and for all. This is the last I'll speak on my situation. I am miles past my own trauma and deserve to move on and enjoy the beautiful life I've built since healing. Moving forward, I have healed through writing a book for trauma survivors. Though inspired by my own experiences, I purposely turned it into a work of fiction to sever any ties of my abuser. Jesus, she's totally moved on, innit? She wants nothing to do with that guy. Didn't even mention him by name, actually. It is one of the few good things to come out of this whole experience. To have purpose and honor, to educate people on narcissism and abuse and protect especially young women from ending up in the same situations I did by learning from my experience. This book is raw and bold and aims to inspire and uplift anybody who's forced to similar trauma. To purchase your own free copy, imagine she just like plugging a book at the end. To purchase your signed copy, please go to the amazon.co.uk/trauma. It's like, yo, come on, yo. Anyway, she didn't say that. I did. Continuing on. Also, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every single friend, stranger, male or female, who supported, defended, or shared their own stories with me over the years. There is nothing I can do to repay you for empowering me through such a vulnerable time. I can't wait to share my novel with you, and I'll always fight to empower you right back. I'll always fight for your cause and continue to spread awareness and educate people on the violence and the trauma. So she says she's going to put it to bed, but then she says she's writing a book. So she's going to go on tour with a book, but you're putting it to bed, but you're writing a book about it. Yeah, whatever. Let her get her money, man. Let her get her money. The account that she shared was pretty troubling. But I want to just talk about, cancel culture in general. Now, I think the whole cancel culture thing is interesting when it comes to Octavian, because he might be one of the only people that I can legitimately say kind of did get cancelled, because mainstream wise, he's nowhere to be found. He might be doing his own thing independently. I haven't really checked for his music in a while, so I don't really know what's happening there. He might be doing his own thing, absolutely blowing up, and he's got super high, crazy Spotify monthly listener views, whatever. I don't really know. But when it comes to the general public, when it comes to the mainstream, he's not really around anymore. That's a problem for me, because I feel like that is engineered by the industry deciding, picking and choosing who gets a career and who doesn't. The reason why I don't like it is because I would much prefer to live in a world where the fans, the public, society at large decides who gets your dollars, who gets your attention, who has a career, yes or no. The fans, the viewing public, not the industry. Because the industry harbors many of these abusers. The industry for a long time harbored and enabled him, according to the account that this girl shared, and according to the information that was available at the time. The industry themselves are the one that turned a blind eye to their abuse, to his abuse. So now this industry is the same person telling us who we should be backing and who we shouldn't be backing. I don't like that. And I didn't like it from the beginning of when that 6ix9ine thing happened. I've never been a big fan of the 6ix9ine snitching thing. I always think that's egregious. Again, I've never been a fucking gangbanger. I've never been a street hood guy in the slightest. But one of the things I've always kind of liked about that whole lifestyle is the idea of brotherhood, the idea of kind of holding each other down. Now, if you're involved in nonsense and you get up to crimes and shit, the last thing you should be doing is telling on your fucking compadres. I feel like that is the most deplorable, bottom feeder, shitty thing you could ever do to somebody, is snitch on them, especially if you both partake in a crime. And I never liked the fact that 6ix9ine did it. But the thing that I didn't like the most was when 6ix9ine got released after he snitched, it was this concerted effort in the industry to stop him from blowing up again. Not putting him on playlist, not playing him on radio. There was like a concerted effort by different platforms, different radio stations to make sure that his career didn't kind of pick up where it left off before he went to prison. I don't like that, because I would much prefer the public, the fans, decide if he has a career or not the industry, because the industry is full of hypocrites. The industry is full of people that have done probably far worse than what 6ix9ine has done, but here they are pointing fingers and being the moral arbiters for what we should and shouldn't listen to. So as much as Octavian has done deplorable things, I feel like that whole collective effort to cancel him and not have him out there was quite weird. You know, especially when this is the same industry that enabled and almost protected him throughout the entire time that he was abusing this girl. Because if that girl didn't come out and say what she said about what happened, no one would have fucking paid attention or actually pulled him up on it, or it would never probably have come to a stop. The fact that she said what she said at the time and she exposed it and she was out there front and center and took all the licks and went on TV and blah, 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 that's the reason why it kind of stopped and he got somewhat cancelled. So I don't know. I've never really liked that sort of thing about it. And that's the only really kind of like bad thing in this whole situation that leaves a bit of a bad taste in the mouth. That whole industry deciding who has a career and who doesn't have a career. But I guess some people would say that's your karma. If you're out here abusing women, if you're out here being a piece of shit and stuff, maybe that's your karma. Maybe your karma is, you know, the luck that favored you before isn't there for you anymore. Maybe your karma is all these people that enabled you previously now turning their back on you. Maybe that's your karma. Personally, I don't believe in karma. I think there are plenty of shitty people out there who get away with murder, literally and figuratively. And there are plenty of people out there that do dirt and they sleep like fucking babies. I don't believe in karma in the slightest, but maybe this is a bit of karmic retribution. So shout out to this girl. And, you know, hopefully, you know, healing and blessing and all that malarkey happens in the future. And I guess the Octavian thing, we have to kind of wait and see if his career ever picks up again. I don't really think it will. The momentum's kind of been lost, but there was a moment when that kid was special and he was showing promise to be legitimately a UK version or at least a European version of a Travis Scott, but it all came tumbling down when people found out he was out here fucking abusing women and shit. And I guess that might be a legit reason why your career kind of goes under. Maybe. So, next to talk about. I'm not sure if you guys seen this, but I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but do you know there's such a thing as like employee influencers? Are you guys aware of that? Like guys and girls out there whose whole personality is basically talking about or sharing content where they talk about having a job. Like what it is, what it's like to be a social media manager at this place, a product manager at this place, a coder at this place, come to work with me, a day in the life of this, here's how I go to work, my commute, all this sort of stuff. It's kind of like employer, employee, work, influencer thing. It's really weird, it's really lame, it's really GAY. Anyway, this one particular lady went viral the other day because she got let go from Discord. Yeah, imagine. It's bad enough that you use Discord. I use Discord, right? I feel like a fucking nerd. I feel like a fucking loser for using Discord. But imagine it's bad enough using Discord, but imagine working for Discord. And then imagine how bad you would feel if you got fired from Discord. It's bad enough, it's dorky enough using it. It's even lamer working there. And then imagine getting fired from there. So she got fired from Discord and she made entire fucking content around it, right? I'll show you a little bit of the clip where she got fired. But this is her sitting down as she gets fired and obviously recording the whole Zoom call for her fucking group of people on social media. And then I'll play for you the clip that I think should have been a bit of a warning call for her as to when she would have probably got fired. So this is her getting fired live, while she's on fucking Zoom call.
Today we are making the unfortunate and difficult decision to reduce the size of Discord's workforce by 17%. This means we are saying goodbye to 170 of our talented colleagues.
It's all the overreactions covering the mouth, It's like, girl, you got an email. You got an email with a calendar invite. You probably added it to your Google calendar, to your iPhone calendar. It's on your desktop, especially if she's Asian, right? She's got fucking alerts popping up all over the screen. There's probably a million post-it notes all over her monitor. You know what day that fucking day was. Like, don't act surprised like, oh. Like, come on, man. Do us a favor.
By 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, everyone will receive an email. In your email, you will learn whether or not your employment has been impacted by this reduction in force. I find out if I'm laid off in 20 minutes. Breakup text through email. Yeah, I got the email. Holy shit.
So you see the email there on screen. It says, "Dear Chloe, it's with a heavy heart that we inform you that your role has been impacted by our company-wide reduction in force and your employment with Discord is ending." I love that they put that your role has been impacted. What is impact? Honestly, HR talk is so gross, isn't it? Your role has been impacted. Just tell me it's over. The dream is gone. You know what I mean? No more fucking monthly salaries for you. Sign on, fucking bitch. Sell your fucking clothes. It's over. Impacted. Come on, man. Impacted? Anyway, let's continue.
Dude, I am laid off. Fuck. Oh my.
Look at, honestly, this is fucking internet brain. She just got laid off, and what's she doing? She writing a tweet. I got laid off. Oh my God. I'm so pissed right now. Fucking hell. This is a nightmare. Like, bruh. Process your feelings, man. Go and cry into a pillow or something. Shout out of a fucking window. Straight away got fired and like, oh my God, I got fired. Lamau. It's not lit. Like, come on, girl.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
To be fair, the noises she's making with her mouth, if I was in any level of authority or management, I would also fire her. The noises that come out of her mouth, the way her mouth moves, the way her face is, I'd also fire her based on that alone, to be fair. You know? Like, I would also fire her. She's got this fucking Princess Leia fucking top on at home and making those fucking faces and those mouth noises. I'd fire her for that alone. Okay, there we go. Normal emotion. Normal emotion. We prefer that. Good screaming.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm fucking laid off. Holy shit, dude. You need to cancel your day. That's crazy. This is how I'm gonna go? 17% is a lot.
Look at the boyfriend. Behind every social media addicted girlfriend is a boyfriend that just wants to vibe, man. He's like, he just wants to chill. He's feeling embarrassed for her. But, you know, it's your love. It's your baby. You just have to keep it rocking. Behind every cringy oversharer, there's always a really chill partner that just wants to relax, just wants to have dinner, doesn't want to take another picture, doesn't want to hold a light like that so you can get a good you can get a good fucking image. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, babe. Like, I just want to eat, man. Fuck, I'm thirsty. I just want to drink my beer, my cocktail. Like, allow it, man. How many more pictures you have to take? You know what I mean? Every, you know, behind every fucking annoying girl that stands in front of those butterflies and does that fucking picture, right? That fucking pose with the peace sign is a guy that's like, yo, I've taken 100 pictures, bro. How many more pictures do you need? Oh, by the way, life hack. If you have a partner who's addicted to social media and wants you to take pictures, don't take pictures. Record them. Record video. And then let them take screen grabs from the video. Expert tip. If you're a guy and you're terrible at angles, you're terrible at taking pictures for your partner, you're rubbish at it, you can't do it, you got fat thumbs like I do, you don't understand lighting, you're not good with the flash, just record a video and then let them take screenshots from the video. That's a smart trick. Okay, cool. Red panty night for the lads. Red panty nights for the lads. Anyway, that's what she did, right? So she's out here recording a video of herself getting fired, which is absolutely hilarious. I love the bit in the video where I think the text says she just bought a house. What is it about us humans? What is it about us humans that we always tend to like make the worst financial decision just before we get fired? Why is it? Why does that happen? Is that like just serendipity? Is that just like coincidence? That somehow you buy a house and then soon after you get fired. It always seems to happen that way. You buy a new laptop, you get fired. Right? You fucking, you know, you get your car repaired, you get fired. You book a holiday, you get fired. You know what I mean? You put down some money for a wedding or something. Like, why is a big financial personal purchase always followed by some tragic news? Why does that always tend to happen? Why as humans does that happen? Bad luck. Anyway, that was what she did, right? Now, I think this video was recorded. I grabbed this from her Instagram. I think it was recorded many weeks before she got fired. And she was kind of like loving herself, right? Talking about how much she loves herself and how well work is going there at Discord. And she also talks about her performance review. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you're working somewhere and you have KPIs and targets and performance reviews and shit, in my opinion, those are usually put in place as a way for the company to find a way to fire you anyway, right? They want to put everybody up in a chopping block, but they want to make sure that they, go down, they do it the fair way, do it the legit way, or whatever it may be. But usually, whenever the performance reviews increase, there's usually followed by some cuts and some layoffs. So the only way to protect yourself if you're working somewhere is to make yourself, what's that thing called? Indispensable. To make yourself indispensable, which means you have to make sure that you exceed your targets. You have to make sure that you're one of the highest performers in your team at all times, so that if it does come to the day where they have to make some cuts, you're the one person that doesn't get let go first. You're the one person that might maybe stay because of your, achievement levels, because of how much you're overperforming, whatever it may be. Now, I think this girl was a little bit dumb and a little bit naive and maybe lacking in street smarts, work smart, whatever it is. She didn't see what was happening, because I feel like this video that was taken a few weeks prior really did preempt her firing. I think they're already gearing up to fire her, but she didn't realize. And the reason why she didn't realize, I'm going to tell you after I play the clip, but I think you can tell in this video how she talks about her performance review. She thinks it went well. I don't think it went well, but she didn't realize. Let's play the clip.
I think I love myself a little too much at work these days. Self-love! I just had my performance review with my management. Super sweaty. It's like getting the grades to your final exam. They're giving me feedback, telling me these are the areas of improvements that you have for this performance cycle. And I'm like, okay, but like, any strengths? I said it like that. It was a funny conversation. They were laughing, I was laughing. I'm here for the wins, life is more fun this way. This made me realize, wow, I have truly come so far. Whenever I used to get feedback, I'd be like holding back tears or I'd be straight up bawling. But these days, sometimes I get feedback and I'm like, I disagree, and here's why. Or I just take it in stride. I'm like, cool, thanks for telling me. It makes me work better. But anyways, I got a meets expectation for this cycle, which apparently is pretty damn good for our standards. Woohoo! This half, I shipped these things. I got a 2% raise, not even inflation, but I'm just happy I have a job. I hope Perp is going well for you. Stay safe, y'all.
So, apart from being incredibly racist because she's eating a pineapple, right? Watermelon. Apart from her being incredibly racist for eating a watermelon like this, right? And the way she cut it as well was very offensive. I don't think she realized what was happening. She didn't realize what was happening. She legitimately thought that performance review went well, when it's pretty obvious to me that it didn't go well. Because you know what? Bitch, you guessed it. She's the personality hire. She didn't know she was a personality hire. And whenever times are tough, whenever it comes to cutting people off, the first people to go are the personality hires. You know why I know that? Because I was once a personality hire. There was a time in my life where I was a quintessential personality hire all the fucking time. And then I realized at one point in my career that in order for me to actually get the roles that pay the best, the roles that were maybe to my level of experience or to my level of skill or whatever it may be, I had to be a bit more serious with my work. I had to take my work a bit more seriously. I had to approach it with a bit more of a mature mindset. So that meant putting the fucking personality to one side, which is pretty hard for me to do, right? I'm a fucking walking, breathing personality. I'm like an orb of personality, right? Just vibrating through your fucking screen. But when I'm at work, guess what? I'm an employee. guess what? I'm a good team member. Guess what? I'm a leader. Guess what? I'm a hard worker. So that when it comes to the time where they have to fucking cull people and chop their fucking heads off, I'm the one person that might have to, you know, I'm the one person that gets some grace and I might get to fucking wave my fucking gloves in the fucking audience. You know, that's what happens. And I think in this case, this young lady really misread her position in the company. She thought she was safe, but she wasn't safe. Now, another really startling point for me was somewhere in the beginning, she says like, I met my standards or something. Instead of exceeding them, she was happy that she was meeting them. I think that's what she said. Something about she met, let me just play the clip again. She said something about, I met my standards.
Have for this performance cycle. And I'm like, okay, but like, any strengths?
Hold on. What is it?
Management, super sweaty. It's like getting the grades to your final exam. They're giving me feedback, telling me these are the areas of improvements that you have for this performance cycle. And I'm like, okay, but like, any strengths?
Obviously, that bit as well was psychotic. When you're in a performance, like, there's certain times in your career where you can show a bit of personality, where you can use, especially if you're a funny person and you have a sense of humor, you can use that sense of humor as a way to kind of make yourself comfortable, to almost, you know, to create some level of familiarity and comfort with the person you're speaking to, and just maybe make you stand out from the rest. Maybe an interview, that would be a good time to do it. Maybe during a presentation, when you're at work, you're presenting something and all hands or whatever, or whatever, yeah? There's times when that humor can work. But I think a one time where you shouldn't have, where you should put your humor and your jokes and whatever to one side is during a performance review. That's a pretty serious situation. Even if the company tries to tell you it's not a big deal, don't worry, this is standard, we're doing it to everybody, always take a performance review personally. Always take it as a sign that you know that they're thinking of letting some people go. It might not be you, but they're thinking of some people to go. So don't offer yourself up. So put the personality to one side, put the jokes to one side, and you know, approach the performance review with some level of professionalism and try your best to kind of, you know, sing for your supper. But this whole like, oh my god, any strengths thing, not the best thing to do during a performance review, in my personal opinion.
I said it like that. It was a funny conversation.
Funny conversations, maybe to you it was funny, but they probably didn't find it funny. Again, this is her completely misreading the room. She got hired because of this personality. Like, imagine her in the waiting room, like waiting for somebody to get, you know, imagine her waiting for an interview in the reception. And then the person comes 5 minutes late. Oh my God, I'm sorry you're late. Oh no, it's totally fine. Oh my God, I was just looking at one of those sculptures over there. Is that, like, she's got one of those type of personalities, right? Like, nothing's a problem, everything's fine. Like, oh my God, yeah, I love all that shit. That's good during an interview. That'll probably get you the job, you know, that way. But to keep the job, you have to be actually good at what you do. You can't be personality hire forever. You actually have to have a level of skill, a level of ability. You have to be an important part of the team, whatever it may be. People have to notice when you're not there. You go on holiday and all of a sudden the team fucking implodes. They don't know what to do. They're calling you, all this sort of shit. You have to be that kind of person. You can't just be a personality hire and then hope to just stay there forever and ever. Not in this economy.
And they were laughing, I was laughing. I'm here for the wins, you know, life is more fun this way. This made me realize, wow, I have truly come so far. Whenever I used to get feedback, I'd be like holding back tears or I'd be straight up bawling.
That to me is another sign that she's not a good employee. Why was she crying at her previous jobs when she had performance reviews? Why was she bawling? Why was she shaking? Bitch, you guessed it, because the performance reviews weren't great. Because she was getting feedback, which she was never probably used to. Usually she's probably told that she was amazing. And now suddenly somebody in her adult age, or maybe somebody senior, maybe somebody younger, whatever it may be, is telling her, hey, you're not doing a good enough job. Do this and this well, or improve here and here, or you're going to get let go. That's why she was bawling and crying. That is another sign that not the greatest employee.
But these days, sometimes I get feedback and I'm like, I disagree, and here's why.
Also, a bad tactic during a performance review. In my personal opinion, again, I'm a bit extreme. I believe in the doctrine of radical radical personal responsibility. I believe in the notion that everything is your fault. Everything. The moment you internalize everything is the moment you can then address and, you know, sort out those situations. When you try to push problems away and kind of, you know, lump them at somebody else and say, oh no, this person did this and that's why I'm not here, blah, 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 there's no way you can solve any issues. And I feel like at work, especially when it comes to work, you should always internalize your issues, because even if you work somewhere and the manager's fucking annoying and you hate your job and it's not inspiring and it's killing your soul, bitch, guess what? If you don't like it, leave. Internalize it. If you're working somewhere and you're not getting a promotion and you feel like you're underpaid and undervalued, bitch, guess what? Ask for a promotion, ask for more responsibility, ask for a meeting with a manager to find out why you're being overlooked for certain promotions. But guess what? It's with you. It's in with you. It's your responsibility to obviously ask those sort of things. So I feel like in all scenarios, even if you're working with somebody toxic that's trying to bully you, wherever it may be, take yourself out of that situation. Extreme Ownership, exactly, by fucking Jocko Willink. Big up that book. Take yourself out of the situation, but it's all up to you. So I feel like in these situations, if you're in a performance review and you're giving them and they're giving you feedback on your performance, you should just internalize it and accept it at that time. Even if you disagree, in the moment there, you should just nod and agree. Whatever requirements they, you know, whatever stipulations they give you in terms of, hey, here's what you need to do in terms of keeping your job, say you're okay with that, and then attack it with full force and give it your best. But you shouldn't be sat there saying, I disagree, and having a back and forth. A performance review is not a time to have a back and forth unless they ask your opinion. If they ask your opinion, share it. But even then, don't really say too much. I understand completely where you're coming from, boss. I'm going to try my best to rectify the situation and address the points of concern there. And I look forward to our follow-up meeting so I can display how much of a crucial member of the team I am, and whatever the term is, go from there. And even if you disagree with it, go and moan and bitch and complain to your wife or to your girlfriend, to your kids or to your dog when you get back home. In that situation, during that performance review, internalize it and move on. That's not a time to have a back and forth, in my personal opinion.
Or I just take it in stride. I'm like, cool, thanks for telling me. It makes me work better. But anyways, I got a meets expectation for...
Now, in my personal opinion, if she's a product manager, I'm taking that term literally because I've never worked as a product manager, but I would assume if you're a product manager, you are managing a team of people. You're in a position of leadership. If you're in a position of leadership, I think it's inexcusable to have meets all expectations. You should be exceeding expectations. Meeting expectations as a leader is not enough. I don't think it's enough to keep your job. You can't be a manager, a leader, and meet expectations. Doing just enough. Doing whatever is on your job spec. You have to go above and beyond. That extra paycheck comes with extra responsibilities. You can't just clock in and clock out. You have to do a little bit more. You have to set the precedent. You have to set an example. That isn't enough, in my personal opinion, especially if the company is already trying to make some changes and shit, because I'm pretty sure this wasn't the first round of layoffs. They probably laid other people off. As a manager, you need to be aware of these type of things going on. Personally, she didn't read the signs and she got caught, unawares. But I think the signs were there from this meeting that she was already on a chopping block. As a leader, meeting all expectations is not good enough. You have to exceed them.
This cycle, which apparently is pretty damn good for our standards. Woohoo! This half, I shipped these things. I got a 2% raise, not even inflation, but I'm just happy I have a job. I hope Perp is going well for you. Stay safe, y'all.
To be fair, like the raise and the promotion was a bit odd. Because I felt like that meeting didn't go well. So I don't understand why they gave her a promotion at the end of the year. Maybe it was in line with the company bonuses and stuff and it's just an automatic thing that happened because she's at a certain level of seniority. But I don't feel like that conversation should have ended with a promotion. So maybe she has a reason why she was a little bit delulu, because she was getting loads of different signals from that company. But if it was me, I would have read it straight away as, oh, they want to fire me. They're thinking of making some changes. They're thinking of cutting down this team. This team is too... Because I don't know about you, but when I work at places, I notice things. I notice, oh, look, we don't have the nice cereal anymore in the cupboards. I notice, oh, look, we don't, the free beers we always have on Friday have now kind of stopped. We now only have one crate. We used to have 6, now we have 1. You should notice where the tide is, turning somewhat. You should kind of clock what's going on. So the fact that she didn't clock it was a big issue. But I think in general, the idea of being an employer influencer is an odd one, you know? Because I feel like part of the issue as well, and I think I've seen some people in the chat mention it, maybe her real problem was the fact that she was oversharing stuff on social media. Maybe Discord in general just didn't like the fact that she was, you know, divulging way too much about what they do behind closed doors as a company. Maybe that's part of the reason. And that might have been the reason what kind of led to her getting fired. This idea that she was oversharing all the fucking time. And again, maybe there is no like law that they can put in place to stop you from sharing stuff about your work. I know some companies do. Some companies don't let you post stuff on social media. You can't post pictures of the inside of your office and stuff. But maybe technically they can't stop you talking about where you work. Maybe, right? But I guess in most companies, it's not something that they respond to well if they find out. Maybe that's what's happened there. And that kind of maybe added and solid her. Because again, putting her naivete to one side, she's a very charming girl, very bubbly, very cute, very fun. It's kind of hard to like dislike her when you see her on content. But if you're looking at it from the lens of an employer, she's a bit annoying, you know? A little bit annoying. So maybe that might have played a role in her getting fired. But lesson to be learned there is that I think in general, everybody should practice extreme ownership when you're at the workplace. Everybody should be aware of what's going on around you. Don't be naive. Don't have your head down in a laptop or in a computer all times. Take a look at what's going on. Is your manager running into meetings every 5 minutes all the time? Is there, have all the snacks in the cupboards now not been replenished in ages? Has the fruit company stopped delivering fruits every fucking week? Notice what's happening. Notice all the little cost-cutting measures, because usually the little cost-cutting measures, like there's no more of that good toilet paper anymore, is usually an indication, a precursor to maybe other teams and other people, humans, getting fired. So you have to be able to preempt a little bit of that and move accordingly. And if you're in a workplace somewhere and you don't feel like you're acknowledged, you don't feel like you're valued, you don't feel like your time is, your time is respected, you don't feel like you're getting paid well, talk to somebody. Don't just bitch and moan about it online on social media. That isn't the right way to go. Talk to somebody directly. And then if you don't get the response that you want from there and you want to go use a social media platform to rant and rave, do what you need to do. But I feel like running to social straight away with your problems from work without giving people from work a chance to rectify them is really irresponsible, really reckless, and really, really, really fatal, because it can cost you your job. So be a bit smart about how you move and shit. And in general, personally, again, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I think if you have a good job, keep it yourself. Is that bad to say? Why are you sharing it with the world anyway? Why are you showing the world that you have this amazing job that gives you a free cab, that gives you a free taxi to work, free lunch, you have a free gym, a sauna, a MacBook? Like, don't share it with the world. Like, keep that shit to yourself a little bit. Like, have some privacy. If you have a social media feed where every weekend you're posting pictures of yourself getting drunk, fucking tongue wrestling randoms in nightclubs and shit, at least have one part of your life that you keep to yourself. That's your 9 to 5. You don't need to let people in. Hey, this is what I do. Like, we all work. All of us have some level of a job, some level of employment, whatever, right? We all have jobs. It's not that deep. It's not that important. Who gives a fuck? The job helps you pay your bills, keep a roof over your head, and whatever it may be. That's it. You have to just, have a little bit of decorum, a little bit of, manners. I don't know. Like, come on. You don't need to share everything. But again, I could be wrong. What are you guys saying here in the stream chat about this shit? Let me quickly scroll through. Performance review is time to be serious. Exactly. Fashion Romance, Black Lives Matter, Radio Brit, Black Lives Matter. Netwatcher says, why are you so on the money with the sculpture bit? Yeah, exactly. Big up Netwatcher. Big up Theodore says, narcissism. Yeah. I don't think it's not. She just got social media brain. I don't think it's narcissism. I think we overuse the term narcissism with people. I think she just got social media brain. Social media brain where everything is content. I just think personally for me, being an employee influencer is one of the lamest things you could ever be. Like, having your entire content be centered around you having a job. What? Okay. Cool. Yeah, Massa basically, and if you don't like it, go elsewhere. Exactly, Game Breed Footballer. She needs a camping. She needs a camping trip with Chin. Chin would be lucky. Come on, Game Breed Footballer. Chin would be lucky to go on a camping trip with her. He'd be fucking lucky. He'd be fucking lucky. Not a Scooby, mate. And also, she's too self-absorbed. You can't have two self-absorbed people. You can't have her, oh my God, hey guys, so we're camping, like on one end, and then Chin trying to fix his fucking 10 grand barbecue set. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have at least one person that's like semi-normal and doesn't care about social media. You can't have two people that are obsessed with stuff. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be talking to each other. They'd both be talking to a camera the whole entire time. It's just a bit too weird. Discord just got 70% of their stuff. Yeah, I saw that, Theodore. NoFab Obama says, I'm a bit behind, but regarding Octavian, it's so much deeper than his ex. He was wrong, but his label shafted him for other business reasons. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy though. Yeah, you see, NoFab Obama, that's the thing when it comes to these type of things. I read the same thing. Again, I don't know Octavian. I've never seen him in real life in my entire life at all, zero. I know none of his friends. I'm not involved in the slightest. I don't even pretend to be. But I remember when it went down, loads of people involved in the scene were coming out saying stuff about him. So that's a problem. Whenever you get cancelled like that, and then you hear people in the industry come out and basically cheer on your demise and add fucking fuel to the fire and basically say how much of a dickhead you are and a cunt you are, it all but guarantees your cancellation, because it's almost like they're now happy that this is the one occasion they get to kick your back in because they couldn't before because you're up. That's the issue with being a dick. When you're a dick to people and you're up, it's good because they can't really say nothing because you're making money and you're famous. But the moment your star starts to fucking dwindle, they're going to fucking run to kick your back in. They're going to go head first into your back and make sure you are done for good because, you treat them like shit. So I kind of get it. Fashion Roman, it's one thing to share your life, but she was giving feedback on Zoom meetings and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. She had this thumbnail where she was like, this clickbait thing. Discord, I might have to leave you. Sorry, or something like that. It's like, yeah, oh well, bitch, guess what? Discord left you. Discord left you, babe. Discord fucking left you. Case of Moses, you have to sign social media policy. Yeah, in some places. I know they do that in Selfridges. In the UK here, we have this amazing department store called Selfridges. That might be one of the best places to work at if you want a retail job. I think if you want a retail job, like I worked at Selfridges back in the day, Selfridges might be the best place because it's like adult university. It's a weird place. It's like adult university. It feels like a college, but you're with fucking adults and shit, and you're all working. It's live. I'm not even gonna lie. Selfridges was one of my favorite retail jobs back in the day. Like, I swear to God, the amount of aunties I may or may not have smashed in there. Woo! Let's continue. She's a baddie, annoying bird brain, but a baddie. Would Chin make it? Behind, blah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, Fashion Man knows. Yeah, Selfridges is fucking vibes, man. It's fucking sorry, that's what I meant. Again, ADHD brain. I was mentioning Selfridges because I remember at the time I was there, I think that was the only place I remember where you weren't allowed to use your phone. Like, and they were very strict about it. Like, very, very strict. Now, some people obviously bent the rules and had it behind the tail and whatever it may be, but they were very strict about not using your phone and obviously not posting stuff on social media. Very, very strict. And if I remember correctly, you had to leave your bag in a locker as well. You couldn't even take your bag on the shop floor. You kind of had to leave it in a locker before you went in and shit. You got searched. Like, it was a bit mad. That was the only place I remember where they were really, really strict about phones and social media use, which is a good thing. I think you should be like that anyway. I think you should be a little bit professional, a little bit detached, a little bit focused when it comes to your work. You shouldn't be online, on social, like, I don't know. I see people sometimes at work and they're on YouTube and shit. It's like, bro, and I'm not even a goody two shoes, but what's the point? You got a job, like, just work, innit? You're only here for fucking what? 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Do the job and then go home and you could do all that stuff. And your lunch break, like, you're on you're watching YouTube at work, like, really? Like, come on, man. Like, but anyway, what do I know? Let's move on. Lil Boom. Little Groom, Little Boom. So, most of you are aware of what I've been speaking about on the pod recently regarding DJ Akademiks' friend and sometimes co-host on his live streams called Lil Boom. He's in a bit of a sticky situation. So, he got accused, randomly, somebody shared a Facebook post about him being arrested for allegedly touching up kids in a Target somewhere. It was like an old post from 2021. Adam22, who's always on the No Jumper Reddit, saw it and then decided to post about it, right, on his own social media feed. So he posted about it on his own social media feed. Everyone decided to go crazy about it because obviously it's kind of crazy news. And then he got involved, Lil Boom himself, and denied the allegations. And then when he denied the allegations, the master of all paperwork, 1090 Jake, decided to get involved, and he decided to kind of, he found the information, and now we have direct proof that that situation did happen, where Lil Boom did allegedly touch some kids in the supermarket. And now, to make the situation even worse, somebody has shared the body cam footage of his arrest. And in the body cam footage of his arrest, the officer, you can kind of see from her body cam, the screens, the CCTV screens in the Target. And you can kind of make out what Lil Boom has been accused of. This video has gone somewhat viral in my side of the internet. People are talking crazy about it because of how DJ Akademiks reacted to the whole Lil Boom conversation, right? He was very defensive, very dismissive of people's concerns, especially his fans telling him, hey, you have to kind of like disavow this guy, how are you fucking riding with him, whatever it may be. So I'll play the clip of him, basically telling his fans to fuck off. But this is kind of wild. This is DJ Akademiks responding very, very negatively to fans telling him to fucking, tell Lil Boom to go kadoom. Let's actually see this clip here.
All my moms in Discord, you hear one of these weird ass things, oh no, I love Act, but I'm just trying to hold him accountable. I get your ass on that. Listen, time of war now, nigga. Like, we here. Like, what's up?
Okay. One. Do you have one?
Just address, bro. I'm not, nigga. You know I could read, right, nigga? I see y'all type. I'm not talking about Boom. I've been told y'all, nigga. I'm not talking about it. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm not about to go off no video about it. This is somebody who has slept in my house, nigga. Me and him will talk. This and third, nigga. None of y'all pressure me to do motherfucking shit, nigga. Like, what y'all talking about? You crazy? Boy, y'all gonna respect the game, nigga. Y'all gonna respect me, nigga. Man, put it like this. I don't care what none of y'all niggas say. No, hold on. Let me, like, some of y'all really be thinking, like, let me pop my shit. I don't care where you on. Nigga, this whole empire was built because of me, nigga. Stop fucking playing, nigga. I don't care what none of y'all niggas is saying. Like, I'll let y'all run the show for a lot, but nigga, I'm the person who make the final call, nigga. I'm not talking about Boom. Boom, my nigga. I'm gonna keep saying that. And by the way, whatever y'all talking about with him, I ain't looking to. I'm gonna talk to that nigga first. Period.
Big up Young Old Vibes. Big up Young Old Vibes.
You are literally my co-worker, Roz. You are on the whole shift.
Okay. Fair enough. Big up Young Old Vibes. Big up Young Old Vibes. Yes, co-worker gang. Co-worker gang. When you going for lunch? What are you having for lunch? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When you going? Where you going? In the park? Whatever. Parlay. Who's the dickhead? Who's the cool guy? Who's the idiot? What the managers say about that? Did they approve your holiday? Why are they taking so long? Where's my promotion? I can't wait to go home. You know what it is. You know what it is. Big up Young Old Vibes. Big up. I love those chats. I love those chats. I love them. I love them, bro. I love just egging people on. Like, what? What'd she say? No way. She say that. I love egging people on at work. I love it. No way. Nah, really? To you? But you're so nice. How could she say that? Like, yeah, fight. Oh, I love it, bro. I love it. You know what I mean? I fucking love it. No way. They still haven't. Oh my god, but the wedding is in a month. Oh, I can't believe it. Hand on the shoulder. Honestly, I can't imagine what you're going through right now. Do you want me to talk? Do you want me to have a word? Should I have a word for you? Do you want me to have a word for you? No, honestly, babe, I don't mind. I really don't mind. You know I'm always here for you. You know it, right? All right. Yeah. That's fuck. Anyway, it's my train. I got to leave, so I'll leave you with it, right? But I'll see you tomorrow, babe. All right. Bye. Yeah. Vibes. Anyway, so Akademiks was very apologetic. Was very, 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 very supportive of Lil Boom. Refused to comment on it. Kept saying he's my nigga. Kept saying he slept in my house. He's my boy. You know, pedo brothers in crime, allegedly. But now this video has come out. I wonder if he'll change his tune. And then I'm going to give you a really controversial opinion that I have on this whole situation. But let me play the entire clip and then we can continue.
On September 19th, 2021, officers responded to a Walmart safety alert involving a customer groping a minor and taking pictures of a woman bent over. The suspect happened to be the rapper Lil Boom. Officers initiated the investigation with these disturbing details.
Oh, right here. Oh, there they are. Yeah, that's them. Two. And you'll see her jump out of the way.
Yeah, you know, look how close he is to her. Like, he probably did. Look at that.
So, there we go.
Oh yeah, right there. Okay, like, pause it. No. Sorry.
Do I have internet brain? Do I have incel brain? Do I have first bucket brain? Or has my brain been corrupted by social media? Anytime I see a girl with white nails, I think of like an IG baddie or something. When I see French tips and white nails, the first thing I think about is like, I don't know, is like, what's her name? Young Miami. It's big up Theodore. Super chat. Thank you.
PTO request. March 3rd to March 13th.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know that time of thing. You know Wagwan. You know that time of thing. You know it. Big up Theodore. What do you guys think? Am I the only one that thinks that? I can't now see white nails as normal. When I see white nails, I just think of some woman that has like a crazy BBL and always takes pictures with their back turned. That's it. So what police officer is walking around with like white nails and French tips? Like, no? What do you think? Is that weird to think that? Is this cop walking around with a crazy BBL, just arresting people? Just walking down with a crazy thumper? Or am I just corrupted? I don't know. Let's continue. Maybe I'm corrupted.
I just want to write it down so whenever I write my report. He approaches over. What is that? The tomato, potato? Produce, yeah. Okay, whatever. Approach the produce stand. Children.
Tomato, potato. Come on, babe. You should be able to discern between the potato and the tomato stand. Like, come on. What is that? Potatoes or tomato? Like, where did they find these cops, bro? Where did they find them? Does she have 2 degrees? I don't think so.
Taking stuff out.
Yeah. At least yesterday, he never touched anything.
Yeah.
For himself.
He reaches and grabs younger one. She jumps away. Okay, you can play it. Play.
She's like 7. No one was like 7.
It's my handwriting. I can read it. So.
Ooh,
he lingers.
sassy.
Yeah. Follows. Then grabs. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is all I need.
Officers made contact with the victim's father, who advised that both of his daughters were inappropriately touched.
Damn.
After further investigation, they observed him exiting the parking lot in a red sedan. The victim...
There he is. Lil Boom in the middle of the screen, getting arrested for touching up kids in the fucking supermarket. Can you imagine, bro? The guy's way too young to be into this fucking freak shit. But maybe this is a sign and an indication that he might be into some other darker shit, because I can't even fathom a situation where that would ever happen in my life, ever. Do you know what I mean? So you have to be into some really scary shit. Yeah, I mean, maybe if they do some investigation, they'll find some other stuff that may have happened. But for you to go into a fucking packed Target and just sexually assault people is wild, bro. Like, again, it's not an excuse, but you could somehow, you know, the scenario of it happening in a nightclub or something, somewhere dark and whatever, where people can't, whatever. Again, freaky shit, creepo shit, sick shit. But to go to drive to a Target and go and, you know, try and grab up a 10-year-old, that's wild, bro. You deserve to be at the bottom of the jail.
Was able to recognize the suspects from Twitter and Instagram as a known rapper.
Recording. Okay. So you know you are going to be placed under arrest. Okay, so I'm not going to put the handcuffs in the back, so I'll just put them in the front. So just put your hands together like you're praying. Perfect. Hey.
Put your hands together like you're praying, you know? Yeah, he needs all the prayers, bro. I don't know if but hopefully God doesn't answer his prayers because, you know, he really needs pedos.
Sure.
You got a code, get in your phone. Mom said that you gotta get it.
Yeah, I actually need that phone.
It's the blue one with the case on it.
Perfect. Is that too tight? Is that too tight?
It's the one with the rabbit on it.
Nigga's got a phone with a blue case, with a rabbit blue case. That tells you everything, innit? Man's carrying around phones with like kiddie bait.
That's my phone.
Alright.
Yeah, that one. That one. That's the one. Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead and here.
No, Mom, don't worry about it. I'll call you.
Yeah.
They taking this one with me.
Yeah, I have to take the phone. So come.
So what? He's out with his boy doing pedo shit. There's like a little gang, pedo boy gangs, right? They what? What are they doing? They're doing drive-by pedo hits.
Come over here and go ahead and take a seat in my car. You don't have anything on you, do you? Okay, I'm gonna search you real quick.
Why would you ask somebody? Oh, I guess it's part of police procedure. Why don't you just search them? Why would you ask somebody if they have something? I don't have anything on me, and then you search them and he has an AK-47 in his back pocket.
Just put your hands up here. Perfect. Okay. Just understand if you go into the jail and you have anything, it is a felony, okay?
No.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Really? It's a felony if you go in, if you don't declare you have something and then they find it in jail. Actually, shouldn't the police officer be in trouble more than you? If they can't adequately search you before you go into jail, shouldn't it be them getting reprimanded and not you? Why should you get a felony? They should get a fucking felony. You got me handcuffed and you are searching my body free with free will, with free reign, and you couldn't find it. You should be in trouble. Your one job is to arrest and find shit. If you can't find the shit, get fired. Why am I being in trouble? Because I can hide a blicky in my ass. If you can't find a blicky in my ass, that's your problem, not my problem. It's not my problem I've got a big ass. It's not my problem I can fit it in there. Find it, innit? I'm not telling you where it is, you find it.
And take a seat. Are you gonna get the PC for me?
Why does it sound like she's going to go drop off her nephew to school or something? Why does it sound like that? Why does it sound like she's going to drop off her godson to school, at school? Da-da-da-da-da-da. She's like, oh, like, she's too chirpy, man. Wagwan.
What's the passcode to your phone?
Don't give it. Don't give it. Right? Am I not mistaken? You don't talk to the police, always lawyer up, and you shouldn't give your passcode, right? Or am I dumb? You should never give your passcode, right? Again, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't get arrested. But you shouldn't give your passcode, right? Am I mistaken? Or should you be giving it? I would never give that. I swear to God, like, what? Password? Get a subpoena, bitch. Get a warrant. Do you know what I mean? Get a fucking warrant.
A detective's asking for it. I mean, I guess technically you don't have to.
Then don't give it then, bro.
107. Technically you don't have to.
That was a good play. That was a good play. I'm not going to lie. I'll give her credit. That's where her training came in. So what's your password for your phone? Hey babe, what's your password? Sorry, hun. What's the numbers to? Sorry, hot stuff. What's the? Sorry, papi. You know, that was smart for her. That was smart. Like, she played it off very well there, very, very well. But he was a bit on. He was there. He was away. He was away.
Do you want to leave? Okay, give me just a second.
Officer Rosa Costa in here, just like, what's she doing, man? Do your job, man.
Do you not want to give me the passcode or anything?
Nah, I want to give you this dick.
Okay, so it's just a yes or no. You don't have to give it if you don't want to.
No.
Okay. All right, we're just waiting for the officer to bring me back the paperwork, and then we're going to get going. Oh, yeah, I see you. All right. And then I know we kind of already talked over the phone about the incident, but I want to ask you a couple more questions, okay? You don't want to talk to me anymore? Okay.
Yo, how you talk to her on the phone, and then when she sees you in real life, you don't want to talk anymore? Now you've got conscious, right? Now you've recognized the gravity of your crimes. Bruh, don't touch kids in supermarkets. It's not that difficult. Grab your produce, grab your fucking Wawa wee wees, whatever you guys eat over there, and keep it moving, right? Grab your tater tots and keep it stepping. You don't need to touch kids. Then you have to answer questions in the back of a fucking meat wagon.
All right. Hey, it's Shelby. So I got his phone. It just died, but I'm plugging it back up. Gonna put it on airplane mode. He won't give me his password or anything. So, but do you?
So he won't give me his password or anything. So I'm gonna show him my ass. You know how I told you I got my ass done yesterday? So it's looking kind of plump right now. So I'm gonna show him my ass, and maybe he might just show me his phone then. You know, black guys and, you know, Hispanic women, you know how black guys are with, you know, as Latinas and shit. So I might just show him my ass, and then he might give me my phone. But if he doesn't show me my ass, then maybe I'll give him a bit of boob or something. I don't really know. Or should I suck his dick? Should I suck his dick? Hello? Hello?
Do you want me to put it into evidence or give it to you? So I just. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, it just turned back on. Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. Okie dokie, thank you. Okay, bye.
During the investigation, officers were able to locate the vehicle and spoke to the owner, who happened to be the suspect's mother.
God damn, bro. This story gets sadder and sadder. Not only is he driving to targets to go and allegedly sexually assault literal children and teenagers, he's also doing it in his mum's car. He takes his mum's car on these ride-outs. He makes his mum complicit in these fucking pedo drive-bys. Fucking hell, bro.
She acknowledged that her son took the car to Walmart and provided a phone number for Lil Boom, who claimed he was just shopping and denied touching anyone. Due to the positive identification of the suspect and his admission to being in Walmart on the day of the incident, they believed there was probable cause for 2 counts of sexual battery.
He did that shit, innit? He did that shit. I'm not one to fucking judge a book by its cover. I'm not one to judge a book by its cover, but he did that shit. That guy did that. Whatever he's been accused of, he's guilty.
January.
Shit.
As a result, Lil Boom was placed on 12 months of probation, required to undergo a psychosexual evaluation, and
Imagine having to undergo a psychosexual evaluation. Imagine how much of a wrong'un you are. Imagine how, you know, beyond help that you have to go through a psychosexual evaluation. That's how much of a fucking nut job you are. Psychosexual. God damn, bro. Sounds like a good band name, don't get me wrong, right? Sounds like a good fucking hardcore band name, right? Psychosexual. But it also sounds like the kind of band you wouldn't want to tell people that you listen to, right? You kind of want to, you know, keep it to yourself a little bit, right? Psychosexual. Lord have mercy.
and assigned 40 hours of community service. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so let's go back to the CCTV footage because I'm still a little bit, I don't know what to make of the CCTV footage, you know? What do we see here? What do we see here?
Oh, there they are. Yeah, that's them too.
Let's see. So we see a picture here of him in the bottom right left-hand corner, right? Oh no, that's the girls, right? Is that the girls or that's him? I think that's I think those are the young girls because I think the 10-year-old and the 17-year-old that he first touched are sisters. So let's see. Let's play it. Okay, no, sorry. That's him there. That's him there allegedly. And those are the two girls. I'm assuming that's the younger one and that's the older one. I'm assuming. So he's approaching them from the back. Because his defense is that he brushed them. That's his defense. His defense is like he was walking by, accidentally brushed them, and they freaked out and made a meal out of it. That's what his defense is saying. But in my opinion, I don't think it's possible to accidentally brush past a 10-year-old and touch her bum. That's just my opinion. I don't know when that's ever happened in my life where I've walking. I don't know how he's walking in a supermarket. Is he walking with his arms like that, like swaying from side to side, or is he like walking squatting? Like, is he doing the fucking duck walk? Is he fucking what's that Vogue thing when the people Vogue and they do? Is it a duck walk? Is he doing a duck walk and then like he's touching their bums? He's walking in the fucking supermarket. How do you walk by a 10-year-old and touch their ass? That's nuts. But that's his defense. So here he is behind them.
Look how close he is to her.
He's too close, right? And again, this is a supermarket. I don't know about you, but when I'm in a supermarket, I don't want to be near anyone. Like if somebody's near you, you kind of like move away. You know what I mean? Come on, man, fuck off. It's a big place, right? You just kind of find your own little thing. And you don't want to be near people. So the fact that he's that near two children or two young girls is like a bit weird anyway. He's looking around. That's him there. You see the way he walked back? He's walking back like he's walking into a bush. But it's like, bruh, you're in a fucking... Honestly, man, that's real psycho shit, isn't it? That's why he's a psychosexual. He went to like... A supermarket might be one of the most well-lit places in the world. Maybe outside of Las Vegas. Most supermarkets might be one of the most well-lit places in the world. Lighting everywhere because they want you to fucking see all their wares and they want everything to jump out at you so you can fucking buy it. From a can of fucking sweet corn to a pillow to a fucking bucket for your mop. Everything is lit. So imagine leaving your house to go to that place to assault, abuse people. With cameras everywhere. You are a psychosexual. So here he is backing up there. You see him backing up a little bit. And then he walks forward. Is he recording them?
There.
Is it me or is he recording them? What do you guys think? It feels like he's recording them, innit? Oh, am I bugging? Let me rewind it a bit more. Does it feel like he's recording them or something? Why is he walking like that? It feels like he's recording them, innit? Like he's got a phone or something here.
Oh yeah, right there. Okay, pause it.
This fucking Mamacita's, BBL fingers are all over the place here, but let's just continue.
Sorry, I just want to write it down.
So it's bad enough he's touching them. He's also recording footage on his... No wonder he didn't want her to have the fucking passcode, innit? No wonder. That if they get the passcode, that phone is fucking yeah.
Whenever I write my report, he approaches over. What is that? The tomato, potato. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Let's see. Hopefully we can see more of it. Hopefully our hand gets out the way soon. Come on, lady, hurry up and write.
Picking stuff out.
I want to see more of this. I think that might be it though. We can see the footage. Let's see if there's anything more.
Yeah. He reaches.
Okay, cool. So that's them there, right? That's them there. He's there in the blue, kind of. You can see him there, and this is the two girls. That's the younger one, and I think that's the older sister there.
And grabs younger one. She jumps away. Okay, you can play it.
The younger one. Isn't the younger one the first girl there? Not the other one. Or am I bugging? So that's him there.
She's like 7.
He's fiddling around with his trousers. Is he touching himself? I don't know.
It's my handwriting.
And then he walks a little bit towards them, does he?
Lingers.
He walks towards them and then they both walk away. Both girls kind of walk.
Yeah.
So they both walk away and he's the... Of course he's got a face mask on, innit?
Follows.
He follows them. Now, what's he doing now? Is he following them?
Then grabs.
Oh no! Is that their mums? Do the two girls go to their mums? Is that their mums? So you see them walking away here, right? They're the two girls. And is that their mum? There's a person here with the orange bag that looks like that might be their mum. That's Lil Boom here. He follows them, and then he touches the other girl. Look, he walks past her there, and his hand grazes her bum. Can you see it? He kind of sticks out his hand. Yo, this guy's a fucking pedo. See, he sticks out his hand. He touches her. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Akademiks. Is that your boy? Ak. Is that your man's? Is that your man's, Akademiks? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yo, Akademiks, come on. You got to do better than this, brother. Honestly, I like Akademiks, bro. He's got some good streams. He's a fucking entertaining guy. One of the best content creators out there. One of the best live streamers out there. But he's going out real sad. If it wasn't bad enough for that Cheyenne girl, this young fucking girl, to be ruining his life, stealing $500,000 from him in fucking cash, abusing him, turning off his Wi-Fi, jeopardizing and sabotaging in some part his Spotify deal. Now he's backing this guy. You're dying on the hill for this guy. The guy that's walking past 17 and 10-year-olds and touching their bums.
Then grabs. Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. How are your arms that far out? Like he's doing star jumps in the middle of Target. Man's doing star jumps next to 10-year-olds. Right? This is like that. This is like the pedo version of that scene in Simpsons where Bart and Lisa are having a fight and they close their arms and close their eyes, and they start windmilling each other, right? Start swinging their arms over. It's like, well, if you're getting away of my hands, then I can't be to blame, right? This is like the pedo version of it, right? Well, my arms, it's a free country. I can move my arms where I want to move my arms as an excuse to touch kids. Like, yuck, man. Fucking yuck. Fucking yuck. Look, he walks by. He literally walking by there. You can see him there with the hair. And then see his hand does that. His hand touches her. Fucking hell, bro.
Yeah.
And she turns around.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What can we say? What can we say? What can we say?
You get what I'm saying? So I know some people feel like maybe I don't really give a fuck about most of this shit, man. Shout out to my nigga Lil Boom. I don't know nothing about nothing. I ain't talking about nothing. I'm chilling. Y'all niggas can get mad all y'all fucking want. It's big act, nigga. Y'all niggas gonna deal with it. Nigga, I came in the game like this, nigga. I'm gonna go out like this. That's how it's gonna be. Anyway, I think I addressed it. We got a few.
That is hypocrisy at its finest, right? Because he was the first one to be barking, justifiably, rightly so, when the Diddy and Cassie thing went down, screaming into the microphone about how much of a weirdo, creep, abuser, rapist Diddy was. Also, he's the person to be screaming and shouting and kicking Blueface's back in when he goes through his non-stop drama with Kreayshawn. He's there throwing jabs at Little Baby, always constantly kicking Meek Mill when he's down. But then when something happens to his boy, very questionable shit like this, suddenly he doesn't want to say anything. So he doesn't want to talk about it, which I can somewhat understand. Big up Wingus Dingus. Appreciate it, brother. Nonce energy.
Nonce energy from Fat Tack.
Exactly. Pure nonce energy. 100% nonce enabling. You know what, actually, as you said that, you know what's worse than being a nonce? Turning a blind eye to noncery. Turning the other way to noncery is probably the only thing that's second only to being a nonce. Nothing actually beats being a nonce, but if you turn a blind eye to it, you're just as bad. Unfortunately so. I don't make the rules. That's what is written in the fucking book of not being a nonce. You know what I mean? Don't turn a blind eye to it. It's on page 1. Big up Wingus McDingus. Appreciate you, brother. But you know what? Part of me thinks, this is my controversial opinion. I don't think you should be ever put in a situation or you should ever publicly cancel your friends. I think if they're your friend, you should move accordingly in real life by not talking to them anymore. If they do something that you think is morally irreprehensible, right? Irreprehensible, whatever that fucking word is, right? Or morally objectionable or whatever to you, or something that just doesn't vibe with you or whatever it may be, you should make amends or make adjustments in real life. You shouldn't need to publicly cancel your friends, because I sometimes feel like some people who publicly cancel people, it's almost like a weird virtue signaling thing. Hey, look at this guy and look at the terrible thing that they did. I'm going to publicly cancel them to make me look better. But it's not really me. It's not really a moral judgment. I'm not standing on anything. I'm just using their plight as a way to make myself look good, which I don't like. Fuck all that shit. Don't use somebody's fucking whatever situation they're going through to prop yourself up. But if that's your actual friend, you should obviously chastise, correct, pull them up, blast them, whatever, in private. You shouldn't need to do it online. But I think at the core, as humans, we should all have lines. We should all have things that no one can ever come back from. And in my opinion, I've always said, I can forgive murder before I can forgive you touching a kid. I can forgive murder before I can forgive you raping somebody. That sort of shit is, there's no coming back from it, for me, personally. Doesn't matter who it is, there's no coming back for it. Murder, I can understand. Yeah, I mean, some people are fucking annoying. Some people need to be, well, bye-bye, go fund me, up in the sky. You know what I mean? Some people need to be bye-byed. So I can understand that. But rape and touching kids, that's never going to fly in my book. And I think you should have a line where you kind of, if someone crosses that, it's over. I think, unfortunately, nowadays, most people don't have lines. Most people move the goalpost based on who it is, based on if they like them, based on the situation, based on what they can do for them, their principles, their morals, right? Their standards, they're malleable, right? They're ever shifting, like sand, right? Like wind. It just moves where it moves. That's the issue most people have. So I think that's happening with Akademiks. Even though he talks with bass in his voice about other people, and he's very judgmental, very critical, he doesn't actually have a moral compass. He doesn't actually have any principles. He doesn't actually stand for anything, which is why he's willing to turn a blind eye or pretend nothing's going on with his boy. That's my theory. Because he doesn't actually stand for anything, so it's easy to do so. Now, again, like I said, he does need to cancel his friend, but I feel like this is hypocrisy at its finest. If you can talk about everybody else, but you refuse to talk about your boy. And I also feel like it's one of the weirdest hills to die on. Isn't this a strange hill to die on? My friend is being accused of being a pedo, and now there's police reports, there's you taking a plea deal, there's alleged confessions, and now there's video evidence of you allegedly doing what you've been accused of doing. And this is the hill you want to die on. Bizarre one, isn't it? If you want to defend your friend, I don't think defending pedophilia is a way to go. You could defend your friend by saying, hey, he made a big mistake, but I'm going to be there for him as a friend, and I'm going to make sure that he gets his life together. You know, he has to earn back my trust, whatever it may be, that way. But like, just pretending like that didn't happen or trying to excuse it like he doesn't care is very odd behavior. Very odd behavior. Very strange way to kind of go about dealing with that type of shit. And if anything, another example as to why, you know, the guy's in a strange place, maybe career-wise, just in general, you know? Because this video as well is another one that's really fucking egregious. And I feel like this is going to be interesting to watch from afar, because I feel like Akademiks is playing with fire here with his fans. Because this isn't, I don't feel like the general public is that pissed off about it, because I feel like the general public probably doesn't care about him. I think his fans are the ones that are maybe a bit more let down. I don't think the general public really cares, really and truly. But I think he's playing with fire with his fans when he says shit like this.
But I could tell y'all, fuck off and suck dick, and y'all still gonna be here. You know why? Nobody does it better than me. I'm sorry. Sorry. Nobody does it better than me. I'm sorry. Who else? If it ain't me, who y'all about to watch? Give me some names. If it ain't me, who y'all about to watch? Y'all tell me.
I think he's playing with fire. I think he's tempting his fans or goading his fans into a response. Because if they decide to all drop him and not follow him, he's fucked. I don't think he has a lot. I don't think Akademiks has casual fans. I think like most content creators, he has hardcore fans who ride with him. But if he decides to poke the bear too much, if he decides to tempt fate, they might answer his call. They might say, all right, cool. You think you can just say whatever and we're going to still be there? Watch, we're not there anymore. I think he has to be very, very careful. Very, very, very careful, because I think Akademiks is also getting to that point where he's not very media friendly. He's not very brand friendly anymore. He's getting to that point where his reputation is a bit sullied. He's a bit of a, I won't say negative person, but he's not really looked at favorably. So he's not going to get brand deals as much as he was getting in the past. So he's going to rely a lot more on his fan base to kind of support him. So if you keep treating your fans like this or talking to them this way, don't be surprised if they pull you up on it. Don't be surprised if they kind of call your bluff. You think you can get away with what you can get away with and act the way you want to act with them? They might say, all right, cool, watch. And they might not be there tomorrow when you stream. Be very, 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 very careful. So that was obviously concerning. Another thing that was really concerning too was this clip. Somebody posted this clip on the Akademiks subreddit of Akademiks' on and off girlfriend talking, weirdly enough, on live stream about their situation. And the first thing that struck me was just how young she sounds, right? This girl called Shih, who's the girl that's behind most of Akademiks' most embarrassing moments. She's the one that leaks all the pictures about him and all this other shit, right? It's the first thing that struck me is how young she sounds. And then the other thing that struck me was her revealing in part that Akademiks didn't get dropped, but no, he didn't mutually agree to leave Spotify. It's actually more so that Spotify decided to drop him because he wasn't fulfilling the obligations of the deal. And guess why he wasn't fulfilling the obligation for the deal? Because he was spending loads of time with this Che girl. He was, she was cutting off his Wi-Fi whenever they had an argument, so he couldn't fucking stream and do his shows. So he lost the Spotify deal in part because of this girl. She stole money from him. She allegedly abused him. She allegedly cheated on him a million times. Allegedly hit his mum, and they're still together. This guy that was always hard on thoughts, he's always screaming at OnlyFans girls and calling them whores and sluts and shit, and just, you know, being a real misogynistic pig. He's out here getting absolutely played with by a literal teenager. I think she might be, no, by a very young girl, maybe in her early 20s. This girl in her early 20s has Akademiks wrapped around her little finger. It's absolutely hilarious. Let's play the clip.
Why would y'all see me like taking shots and doing all this shit?
But it's kind of weird because nobody brung up the story about the rape situation, but except for him, like he brung it to the.
So he brought it up because.
So that girl talking now at the top is Shih. That is Akademiks' girlfriend, and the other girl I think is a fan or something, and they're having a, you know, they're having a fucking conversation over IG Live. But the girl that you're hearing now is Akademiks' girlfriend.
He
felt like you was gonna bring it up.
Yes. He was like, oh, you're going to expose me one day. I might as well air all this shit out. He's trying to do it at the house. I cut the Wi-Fi, all that. He went to his studio and did all that other shit. No.
I love how she said that. I cut the Wi-Fi and all that. That's how you know she's toxic, innit? That's not normal. Because we have an argument, you don't get to just cut my Wi-Fi. Babe, like, let's talk. Babe, let's talk. Why you can't just cut my Wi-Fi whenever we have a little tit for tat. When I forget to wash the dishes, you can't just cut my fucking Wi-Fi. It doesn't work like that. Like, can we have a conversation, please? Can we at least maybe argue? Let's argue at least. Let's at least shout at each other. Like, don't just cut the Wi-Fi off. Like, fucking hell, man. I haven't even got a lot of data. You know I don't have good data. You know the signal in here is not great. Come on, man.
It brought him extra problems. Like, you didn't have to say any of that. Now you look bad. Like, you said I did all this crazy shit to you and you're still with me. Like, that's crazy.
That's why I said I could tell that he don't really feel like it's fuck you and XYZ.
He had
like
he had a $10 million deal with Spotify. The shit dropped. And
did you hear that? Akademiks had a $10 million deal with Spotify. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Spotify deal was like, what was it called? I think it was a show where he had interviews. And according to Akademiks, because again, I watched a lot of his content, Akademiks said that him and Spotify decided to part ways because they were demanding too much from him. They were asking him to do loads of interviews with artists that he didn't really care for, so he didn't want to be made to do more than he was more than he was obligated to do, so he left the deal. I always thought that was a bit fishy. I was like, why would you, like, because me as a quote-unquote creative that doesn't believe in selling out, I always believed in the notion of, like, selling out with, like, what's it, class, but selling out in a way where you get money from the overground to feed your underground projects. So maybe you do a placement with a big brand, maybe you do a campaign with a big brand, but then you use that money to kind of, you know, put more fire, more energy, and more resources behind your projects that you actually care for. It's almost similar like fashion photographers, right? Fashion Roadman would know this. Most fucking campaigns by like for Zara, H&M, all these fucking high street brands are done by really acclaimed photographers, but they never put their name on it, right? It's usually done up, you know, kind of like nameless. But usually big photographers will do those campaigns for H&M and Zara because those campaigns pay really well, but then they'll do magazine editorials for like, you know, ID or like whatever fashion magazine exists out there, System and shit. They'll do those things for free or for the exposure or for a look or for the portfolio. So you use the money from the big corporations to feed your kind of underground personal, you know, pursuits and passion projects. So when I heard Akademiks say he voluntarily walked away from Spotify, I was like, that made no sense. If Spotify is giving you a check, if they're giving you a salary, like that's sick because that takes all the pressure off of your other stuff. So you can maybe use that money to do other cool things, maybe experiment, whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean? So I never really understood why he would give up the Spotify thing, especially because I always felt as if as well, like Akademiks isn't really a good interviewer. Don't get me wrong, but I still think it's important for him to have a show where he gets to interview people because he has a different perspective and he has a different sort of outlook on the industry from most outlets out there that are mostly like industry based. They're kind of really part of the corporate machine, juggernaut, wherever it may be. He's a little bit indie, a little bit in his own thing. So I think it was quite important, even though the interviews were never that great, for him to have a platform, because maybe he gets to interview other people that we won't see. And maybe he just asks different questions, whatever it may be. So I always thought the Spotify thing was shaky. So it's interesting that she said it was a $10 million deal. And most likely he lost it because, you know, she keeps cutting off his Wi-Fi. So you have to, what, keep buying a new router, having somebody come out, like, so you're wasting time. You're not getting the shows out on time. And I'm assuming if you've got a deal with Spotify, there are some deliverables that are non-negotiable. If they give you $10 million, if they tell you to produce 6 shows, you have to do 6 shows. If they want those shows every fucking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have to drop them those days. If you don't, you null the fucking deal. So that's probably what happened.
And now his only income is like being on social media and doing streams and shit. Like,
imagine this girl talking about income when she has no job. She's criticizing how Akademiks makes his money, but she's sucking on his, sucking off the bosom, whatever that term is. Honestly, this is such a toxic relationship, but it makes me laugh because she's so young and Akademiks isn't that young. So it's just hilarious to see him getting twanged, getting manipulated by this young girl. It's fucking hilarious.
But why destroy the person that you're with? Like, he's saying all this crazy shit about me, but not.
But I feel like it's vice versa too. You say a lot of fuck shit about him. He say fuck shit about you.
He does interviews with famous people. Like, he's doing interviews with Vlad, like other famous people. Like, he's talking mad crazy about me.
But
he tells me like not.
You feel like because he's doing it on a bigger platform that he's taking it farther, or is worse than.
Imagine not being able to talk about your girlfriend on a public platform if you so wish. Imagine her saying, if you talk about me, I'm going to cut off your Wi-Fi. If you talk about me, I'm going to sell your fucking dick. I'm going to send your dick pic to Adam22. Imagine. Like, can I moan? Can I express my feelings on the podcast about, like, how tough it is? Like, what? Huh?
Like, imagine your boyfriend going on a famous platform talking the worst shit about you when y'all beefing. And like still being with you.
Like, I mean, I agree about the Aunt Glizzy interview that he did. Like when he came back, I heard like I was listening to it while we was in the car, and I'm like, why he got
like somebody going in on his relationship and his girl when I know for a fact in the next couple streams you're gonna see her walking by, or he was with me the next day. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So only you know him. He's a hater. So I don't get. He's a hater. Literally, and he knows like this relationship shit
is getting him views. That's why he's saying all this crazy shit about me, but still being with me every day. I don't get it.
And why do you feel like you still with him?
I mean, like when you in love with somebody, like you excuse a lot of stuff.
So basically, Akademiks and this girl are Krayshawn and fucking Blueface.
I'm gonna be honest, like if I wasn't in love with him and I only cared about the money, like we would have been done, to be honest.
The money helps. Let's be real. The money helps because she's not with Axe for his fucking good looks or for his irresistible charm, is she? Let's be real. The money does help, right? The guy is like a multi-millionaire, legitly. And he doesn't really have many dependables, right? Like, it's just him and his mum, basically. Right? One of the rare black people that you'll meet that isn't sending back hundreds of thousands to family abroad. So he's got a lot of disposable income. I think that helps, right? Getting a G-Wagon for your birthday is pretty nice, I reckon.
I don't know. I feel like, people are going to assume that you only with him for one thing. So yeah. It's not much that either of y'all could say
that's gonna make the anybody look at your relationship.
There she is. Che Glizzy, the one that's holding Akademiks down. Wagwan girl.
In a positive light, especially after all the accusations and all the back and forths and breakups. They were saying negative stuff about me before we even went like public, basically.
Anyway, you get the gist of it. So, again, some people would say this is Akademiks' karma again, I don't believe in karma, but some people would say this about all the negative stuff he's put out there, how he's spoken bad about certain people, blah, 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 blah. I just think this is just more of a situation of a guy that doesn't really have much experience with girls, finding one girl, and unfortunately that one girl being not the best companion for him at this time. Poor timing. Obviously, lack of experience is more the reason why. I think so. It's less to do with, you know, anything else. I think it's more to do with the fact that he doesn't really have much experience with girls, doesn't really have much life experience in general. And unfortunately, he met a girl that, although she's very young, she's very wise beyond her years. You know, she seems to be very clocked on. She seems to know how to run, you know, run guys' pockets. She knows how to like make them fall in love. You know, that kind of shit. Like, she's very grown in that respect. So he's just unlucky that he bumped into this girl, and she made Akademiks feel like he's fucking Rick Ross, right? She made him feel like a fucking boss. And now he doesn't want to let her go, even though she's legitimately his biggest op. She's one of his biggest ops. Way more than Meek Mill, way more than Little Baby, way more than Metro Boomin, way more than Vic Mensa, way more than Rory or more. That Shea Glizzy girl is the biggest op that he has, and probably the one person who, if someone could bring down the house of Akademiks, is Shea Glizzy. So he has to watch his P's and Q's. He really needs to be very careful, because if there's one person that can end it all for him and literally get his lights turned off, it's her. But hey, you know, when you're in love, when you're PUSSY whipped, there's no convincing you otherwise. And I think most of you guys will know this. Most of the guys in the stream chat who've had friends who've fallen madly in love with girls who are very bad for them, there's no convincing them that that person's not a good fit. You just have to let it play out and be there for your friend when it all falls apart. There's nothing you can say to convince, to kind of talk them, you know, to get through to them. They're just not going to have it. They're not going to have it. So you just have to wait. And then, you know, when the inevitable happens, you're going to be there for your friend like we all are. But we've all experienced it. I'm sure we have. And that's what happened with Ak. But unfortunately, he doesn't really have any friends, you know? Or the friends he does have, they're like Lil Boom. You know what I mean? Imagine taking relationship advice from a guy that's touching kids in supermarkets. Could never be me, bro. Could never be me. But yeah, big up the stream chat. Big up everybody tuning in. Appreciate all of you. If you're enjoying the stream, you like what you see what you like, please make sure you're liking the stream. Do me a fucking favor and like the stream. I don't ask for much, but like the stream if you enjoy what you see and you like what you see what you like, you hear what you like. Make sure you're liking the stream. That's all I ask of you, okay? That's all. Just like the stream. Cool. Anyway, moving on. Have you guys seen this? Absolutely tragic news. Tragic news for the one and only P. Diddy. Diddy is in a bit of spot and bother here because of this crazy situation with Diageo. So if you guys don't know, before Diddy got kind of cancelled for the madness was going on with Cassie, with him being accused of rape and abuse and all that sort of shit, Diddy was actually going through a pretty extensive and pretty deep lawsuit with Diageo. The company that owns Ciroc, the company that also owned his other whiskey brand, liquor brand. I think it was called a fucking De Leon or something like that. But anyway, they're a big group, and they obviously were in partnership with Diddy earlier on with Ciroc. If I'm not mistaken, the history of Ciroc is that Diddy didn't actually start Ciroc. Ciroc was a brand before. It was a vodka before. But what Diddy did was that he became a brand ambassador for Diageo, representing Ciroc. And then over time, because he was doing so well for Diageo and helping them shift loads of bottles, he then was given an opportunity to develop his own flavors. That's when he started to do all the pineapple and all this sort of shit down the line, right? And watermelon and stuff, whatever it may be, right? No racist. So he then decided to launch another brand called, I think, De Leon, right? Is it De Leon? I think it's called De Leon, if I'm not mistaken. I think, yeah, De Leon. And then I guess throughout, somewhere along the line, he got into a spot of bother where he accused Diageo of racism. And essentially, it kind of felt like a play. It felt a little bit like a play, you know. Maybe he wanted to get out of the deal. He couldn't get out of it. Maybe he felt like he was being underpaid. So he tried to, you know, during the whole kind of, you know, BLM, George Floyd thing, he decided to put a lawsuit together for the whole fucking thing to get, to racial discrimination because he felt like he wasn't being, maybe respected or honored the way he felt because of his skin color. Well, guess what happened? Because of all the Cassie shit, look what happened now. Diageo and Diddy settled lawsuit. They settled the lawsuit. So I guess I remember seeing this article or this TikTok of some lady who was a lawyer basically saying that Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy was very smart because I think her lawsuit meant that he got attacked. All of his businesses and brand deals also got attacked off the back of it. I guess because she might have, because of the large number that she was asking for in terms of restitution, in terms of a 30 million, maybe that's what impacted it. But basically that lady on TikTok just basically described how that lawsuit also triggered all the other companies that Diddy owns or works for to be somewhat complicit or involved in it. So obviously, naturally, if they're all involved in it, guess what's going to happen? They're going to cut you the fuck off. So that's what's kind of partly happened here. So let's read the actual article. It says leading spirits firm Diageo and rapper Sean Diddy Combs have released a joint statement settling their legal dispute. The full statement reads, Sean Combs and Diageo have now agreed to resolve all disputes between them. Mr. Combs has withdrawn all allegations about Diageo and will voluntarily dismiss his lawsuits against Diageo with prejudice. So the lawsuit he put forth about, racial discrimination, he's gonna end it himself, like done. Like we've agreed, stop the dispute because it's not going anywhere. Diageo and Mr. Combs have no ongoing relationship, either with respect to Ciroc, vodka, or De Leon tequila, which Diageo now solely owns. So the brand that he started in collaboration with Diageo, De Leon tequila, Diageo now owns 100% of it. So Diddy lost not only the Ciroc deal, he also lost the brand that he started in collaboration with De Leon. And what makes this really fucking crazy is this. If you remember correctly, the reason why Diddy became a billionaire, the reason why Diddy got billionaire status is because of Diageo. That Diageo deal is what actually took him to billionaire status, because I think if you read a lot of entrepreneurial businessy type stuff, they always say liquor is like a real big money earner. The margins on liquor and the money that can be made in the liquor industry are crazy, which is why a lot of celebrities kind of get involved in it. So even though Diddy was doing amazing business-wise and all these kind of ventures, the real thing that kind of took him to that billionaire status was the Diageo thing. So losing this is a big deal because that's going to harm his net worth, harm his other future earning potentials. Because you'd imagine too, working with a corporation like Diageo, yes, you get to work with them and do whatever, but I'm assuming as well, at a certain level of richness and wealth, it's less about the money and more so about the networking and the connections that you build. So most likely, even though they pay you well, even though you get good splits, the real difference maker of that collaboration or that partnership with Diageo is the contact list, is the phone book, is the introductions that can be opened up or available to you because you work with Diageo, because you work with so-and-so executive, so-and-so CEO, so-and-so CFO. All of these people are people that you only would have access to once you get in business with these type of people. So that's probably going to do real big damage to him financially. So don't be surprised if something crazy happens with him down the line, because this is a big fucking deal. It continues. In June 2023, Combs alleged that the drinks giant Diageo neglected De Leon tequila, which they co-owned at the time because of his race. In the same month, Diageo severed ties with Combs and described his lawsuit as a sham. That already was a bad sign, right? He files a lawsuit. The Diageo group gets pissed off that he filed it because they feel like it's without any merit, and then they fire him. Either that's them admitting that there was a problem, or that's them saying, hey, you know what? You're just a horrible person to work with. Go get fucked. Who knows? It continues. In October 2023, Diageo countersued Combs. So he sues them. They fire him. Then they countersue him. That lets you know how much of a horror show Diddy was to work with behind the scenes, that they would go this length, right? Instead of just wiping their hands clean and walking away, the fact that they countersued tells you everything. Alleging that that he leveraged allegations of racial animus to extort the firm. The two parties first began partnership in 2007, with Combs helping the brands to market Ciroc. They announced an equal partnership to buy De Leon tequila in 2014. In late 2023, Combs was faced with legal lawsuit, again with Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, alleging rape and sex trafficking. But he had a partnership with Diageo since 2007. God damn, bro. That's why being a creep and being an abuser really doesn't pay. It really doesn't pay in the long term because, yes, your reputation suffers, but these type of people don't really care about that sort of stuff. To them, it's all about the money and the power and that sort of stuff, right? Well, that's also going. Your reputation's done for, and now the thing that you care about the most, money, is now not even slowly, it is rapidly decreasing. Every brand deal, every brand that kind of cuts ties with him is more money, that he's not getting in his bank account. So solidarity with Cassie. Bad times obviously there for the one and only P. Diddy. But again, he can't really complain. He has no right to complain, really. It kind of is what it bloody is. So moving on from that. Let's talk about Coachella. So Coachella have released their 2024 lineup. And I have to say, this might be one of the best lineups that they've had for a long time. I said earlier before that I think this might be the best lineup since 2017. I think 2017 was like Beyonce, Coldplay, Bruno Mars or something, right? Like on the 3 days, like insane headliners, right? Especially, again, don't think about Coachella as like your own music taste. Think about it in situ, of it being in LA, of it, near enough to LA, of it being in the States, of it being really warm, of it being full of normies. Like, just imagine what that crowd will kind of like. And these type of lineups, I feel like, would be right on the button. So for this year's lineup, on the 3 days, they have Lana Del Rey headlining, Tyler, the Creator, and Doja Cat. And then they have the special edition of fucking No Doubt. What a great lineup. What an amazingly good, decent, well-balanced, entertaining and fun lineup that is. That's a real fun show. So I really cannot wait to see all of these headlines perform via live stream. That's one of the great things about Coachella, even though I've never been, and I would love to go obviously sometime in the future. The live streams are brilliant. The whole live stream platform, the fucking channels they have on YouTube, it works so fucking well. I don't think there's been a year where you haven't been able to watch it with like perfect, no interruptions, no fucking dropping signal. Even though I think people always say whenever you go to Coachella, allegedly the signal, like most festivals, actually there isn't great, but they somehow managed to actually stream the whole entire festival for the most part. Even, some of the early opening acts from the start of the festival all the way to the end on both weekends, which is pretty impressive. So on the first weekend with the headliner Lana Del Rey, you've also got supporting acts Peso Pluma, who I'm a big fan of, love him. I think he's going to do really well there, of course, especially with the, with the Hispanic community not being too far or being ingrained in fucking LA. He's going to absolutely smash there. Lil Uzi Vert will be great. Justice will be awesome, right? Back on their field. Bizap will be great. Deftones will be awesome. There's been a resurgence of Deftones everywhere. There's Peggy Goo playing. Big up Peggy Goo performing there. That would be pretty entertaining to see her performing at Coachella. I would love to see that set. Actually, I might react to that live. Sabrina Carpenter, the pop princess, is going to be there. Ken Carson. We've got Skepta performing. Sick UK stand-up. Faye Webster. We've got Tyler. By that time, her album would have dropped, so it'd be nice to see her perform. Gorgon City, Tinashe. Oh, Tinashe. Nice look for her. I didn't see her. Big up Tinashe. That's a very good look. Who else we got here? We got More Grab, Kevin DeVries, a lot of DJs here. Narrow Head, Skin on Skin, Simmer Fank, Miss Monique. And then, of course, the Saturday, maybe my favorite lineup, Tyler, the Creator, is going to absolutely kill it. I feel like from all the three headliners, I honestly think Tyler, the Creator, might be the best performer. And I think because he cares the most about music and about putting on a good show, and he's really about the art and the craft and whatever it may be, I think he's going to show out the most. I think Lana Del Rey is going to do well. It'll be like a karaoke there with her records, right? She's got banger after banger after banger. But I think in terms of putting on a show, Tyler, the Creator, and Doja Cat will go head to head, but I think Tyler will win. He's gonna really invest a lot of money into the performance, into the stage show, the set design. Like, he's gonna go ham. It's gonna be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. Then you got Blur as well, UK stand up, Ice Spice. Who would I like here? Jungle are performing. Wow. Big up a Sorry to Tell. Appreciate you, brother.
While I agree Diddy is a creep, he is getting the same coordinated spanking they gave Kanye. Only difference is Kanye is not a sexual deviant.
Yeah, of course. But also, I feel like the Diddy thing, as much as it is a coordinated spanking, I also feel like these spankings are like they were in the makings for a while because they're pieces of shit, right? Diddy clearly wasn't the greatest guy behind the scene, I don't think. So I think people are using this as an excuse to, again, like I said before, kick his back in. That's the problem. So I think that's the lesson from this is obviously not to be a creep, but also don't be a piece of shit to people. If you're a piece of shit to people, and your time comes, and the time does come where you get cancelled, no one's gonna protect you. No one's gonna help you. If anything, people are gonna want to kick you. They're gonna stomp on your head. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna want to spit on you, like because they've now got an opportunity to do so. So it is what it is. But big up a story to tell. So I said here, Bleachers, Grimes is performing, John Baptiste, Charlotte the Whip, shit DJ, Blast. Oh, sick. Blast is on there. Oh, sick lineup. Big up. That's an LA native. Big up Blast. We got Scream and Benga performing. Wow. Dubstep, OGs. Scream and Benga performing there. Destroy Lonely. Imagine if Destroy Lonely has a track with Scream and Benga. I'd love to hear that, bro. A remix. Imagine. Actually, I think a lot of those guys, like, what's his face? Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely. I think a lot of those guys will sound really good on breakbeats. Breakbeats, jungle. I think you could remix a lot of their vocals on those tracks. I wish I could actually produce. Like, I think you could make a really good record out of some Destroy Lonely vocals on some breakbeat stuff. Kevin Abstract performing there. Blessed Madonna performing, DJ. Who else we got here? We got Orpherex, Point Never, Young Fathers. Oh, I love Young Fathers, one of my favorite bands. Who else we got? We got Brutalism. We also have Will Carter. And we also have, who else we got here? Maze, Eric the Grace. And then on the Sunday, Doja Cat headlining. Other acts, we got J Balvin. I think J Balvin is terrible. You know what? I think he's terrible. His outfits. I hate J Balvin's outfits. He dresses like he's got crystals in his pockets. If that makes any sense. J Balvin looks like he has crystals in his pockets. I hate how he dresses. He just annoys me. I don't know why. I don't know. I hate J Balvin. Junior Aiko. Oh, is that that's the band, right? Kurigambin. I think that's the band that does great covers. You got John Summit playing. Oh my god, one of the worst DJs in the world. Big up John Summit. Lil Yachty performing, DJ Snake, The Rose, Renee Rapp, Bebe Rexha, Coil Ray, Nav, Bicep. Oh, nice Bicep book in there. So yeah, good lineup. Very, very stacked. DJ Seinfeld is obviously on there as well. Folamore, they love him, innit? I think he plays at Coachella quite often. Big up Folamore. So yeah, a bunch of DJs, a bunch of live acts, really good headliners. Lana Del Rey, Tyler, Creator, and Doja Cat. Coachella 2024 will be absolutely banging. So if you be able to get a ticket, you should try to go because that lineup looks absolutely fucking stellar, right? Absolutely stellar. Moving on. News courtesy of RA. We've got this news that filled me with so much fucking joy because I had such a good time at this location. I haven't been able to go back for a while, but I went to this place before the hype. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. I went to this location before the whole internet did because everyone's now going to fucking Japan. Before that, everyone was going to Mexico City. Then people were going to Ibiza. There's all these like influencer hots. I've actually got I think there was a t-shirt by Heron Preston, right? Heron Preston, I think, made a really funny t-shirt. I think it was like the Influencer World Tour. And I think at the back of it, it had like all the places that influencers go to, like, you know, from fucking, I don't know, from the art festivals to the festivals, to the fashion weeks, to the trade show things. There was a list of locations, a list of places. And I wish maybe there's a one that you could do nowadays because of, you know, the kind of popularity of Aspen. Obviously I mentioned Ibiza. Greece is starting to pop off again. Corsica places. Anyway, whatever it may be. The place I'm talking about is Bali. And what I'm talking about is this news courtesy of RA. DJ Harvey opens a new club called Klymax Discotheque in Bali. I've been looking for an excuse to go back to Bali. I went to Bali. I'm going to say, was it 2007? It might have been somewhere along those kind of years. Maybe it was like 2010 or something. Crazy. I went so long ago, and it was obviously way cheaper than it is now. I think it's still very, very cheap. But what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Like amazing. From the food to the weather to the hospitality. Like everything was absolutely incredible. Actually, one of the best things I did in Bali was that the place that we stayed at, for some reason, had loads of really cool leather shops. Like if you've been to Bali, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. There's this place where there's all these cool places that basically these guys make handmade leather goods, wallets and bags and whatever it may be. And we went to this one place where we literally cleared out the place. We bought so many wallets and bags and shit from them. And then we went to this other place that sold loads of bags, you know, whatever, really cheaply as well. That was also good. And then I remember one thing also being really amazing in Bali was this great restaurant I went to there that did really good barbecue. For some reason, they had this amazing place. It was almost like, I think it was like built into like you know, crates. Like they kind of built the restaurant into like a crate thing. So it kind of looked like you were on like, you know, you were basically eating inside of a crate, and they served you the thing in a metal tray as well. And you had this amazing barbecue with like some ribs and sausages and shit. Like, oh, the food in Bali was good. So this is a good excuse for me to go to Bali because DJ Harvey is one of my favorite DJs of all time. So if he's opening a nightclub in Bali, I will be there. I will be there. So let's read the blurb. DJ Harvey is opening a new club in Indonesia island of Bali. Look how it looks already. Look at that. Look at just the disco ball and the lights. Look how nice that looks already. Launch on New Year's Eve. Klymax Discotheque features a custom-built sound system and is part of a beachfront venue, Desa Potato Head. Funny enough, I think Potato Head is the place where the former design director of, I forgot what that retail store is called in Dawson that does fashion, but I'm pretty sure that's the place that guy moved to. He was I think he was a former buyer or something for that store, and he went over to Bali and he set up that place, Potato Head. I think it's a hotel as well they've got there, and a restaurant maybe as well. But anyway, let's continue. Open on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 p.m. through to 4 a.m. The place has been 5 years in the making, according to DJ Harvey, whose extended sets have been a regular occurrence at Desa Potato Head over the years. Bali-based acts such as Gero, Rainbow Disco Club affiliate Dita have been named as residents so far. Bookings for the month in January include Manfred, Carl Craig, Tornado Wallace, Kiman Foxman, Courtney Bailey, Archie, and whoever that last bitches. It continues. In addition to Klymax Disco, Desert Potato Head is home of its own club, a radio station, listening bar, and record store called Headstream, plus Studio Escotica, a vinyl library and studio space. For updates on Klymax, visit the website. So here's a picture of my GOAT, DJ Harvey, one of the greatest DJs of all time, up there with Ricardo Villalobos for me, up there with Gerd Jansen for me, up there with DJ Hell, up there with fucking Carl Craig, up there with fucking Seth Troxler, like absolutely goats for me. And DJ Harvey is one of my goats. Like I've literally flown around the world to see this guy play. I literally went to fucking Berlin one time and paid, you know, way too much for a flight, way too much for a hotel to go and hear him play for fucking 6 hours. And it might have been one of the best experiences I've ever had. So if I can see him in Bali, I'ma do so. The club looks amazing. You've got his, you know, his icon. No, I wouldn't say he's iconic, but what he's known for in terms of playing with a rotary mixer. You got all of look at the turntables stacked. I love the layout. So you have two CDJs on either side of the massive rotary mixer, and then you have 3 turntables there, 3 vinyl turntables next to each other. I'm not really seeing a setup like this. It's kind of weird because you have to kind of lean quite over the fucking, you know, the unit to kind of play your vinyls and shit. It's a bit wild, but I'm sure it works well. And then obviously you got the actual club itself. I love the wood. I'm assuming this is good for acoustics. It probably makes it way more warm. The sound probably bounces off the walls and the floor and the ceiling way easier. The disco ball right there in the middle as well looks fucking great. All the lights on the side, absolutely beautiful. I love everything about it. So big up Klymax Discotheque. I really want to check this out one day soon. I really do want to check this place out one day soon. Next, I want to talk about this because I'm really excited about these because I think this is probably one of the best Adidas collaborations I've seen in recent history. So this Instagram page that I've been following for a while called Hartcopy have collaborated with Adidas on a really interesting pair of shoes. They're called the Adidas BW Army collab, and they look very similar to a pair of shoes that most of you would be aware of by Margiela. I think they're called, basically they're Army sneaker, but I think they're typically called the GAT sneaker, but it's a similar silhouette from a Margiela, what do you call it, army shoe, or just a conventional army trainer, which essentially looks like a Samba without the long tongue and usually has a bit of a suede toe box at the front. Really nice silhouette, really nice shape, very easy to wear. And this Hartcopy collaboration is amazing. Hartcopy is a really cool Instagram page where essentially they document, like, you know, streetwear and sneaker culture, as you can see here. And they do it in a really cool way where they have these, every post has this text and blurb where they go into excruciatingly really cool detail about the shoe itself. You know, instead of talking about it in shitty blurbs like Hypebeast does, unfortunately, they actually spend some time writing eloquently and really well about the shoes themselves, and obviously documenting all of it. And I think they also produce a book. I guess the book is similar to that guy, I forgot his name, but that French guy who used to make a book where he documented loads of hype culture stuff. But I guess they do it in probably a less glitzy, hyper, whatever way. And they just, you know, put it together how they put it together. But it's obviously really well done. The art direction on the Instagram page is really great. I've kind of been checking out their page, you know, from afar here and there. So it's cool to see Adidas recognizing them because, you know, I'd assume they're quite an independent, you know, thing. Maybe it's run by only a couple of people. So to see a brand like Adidas reach down and collaborate with somebody like this is absolutely quite cool. And obviously goes to show that they've definitely got their finger on the pulse. So as you can see, it's a mostly white sneaker and it features the classic sort of like army toe box here at the front, which is kind of a split toe where you've got this nice suede counter at the top, and then you've got this nice gum outsole on the outside, and everything else is white with, I guess, white stitching as well. The inside has leather insole, which I've always been a big fan of. I prefer that, especially if you got an all-white shoe. Having it be like cotton or mesh is horrible because they usually stain easier. But leather, although sometimes it can be a bit uncomfortable, actually ends up kind of looking better with wear and tear and stuff. So I quite like those. I also love the fact, bonus points as well, this is just a pet peeve of mine, but I love the fact that they relaced them. That might be because whoever's behind Hartcopy might be an OG retail head like me, right? Like might have worked in retail for far too long, relacing shoes and whatever, you know, doing standards on shop floors and stuff. So this is something that I always dislike when it comes to sneakers. They just have the shoes, take them straight out of the box and take a picture of them. This has obviously been relaced. As you can see here, the laces go that way, over and over and under, over and under. If I'm being a bit nitpicky, because this is the instep, really this lace should be on the outside there. That should be under. Your laces should always be over on the right and then over on the left. You know, if you know what I'm talking about. But I like the fact that they've relaced the shoes. That's a bonus points for me. Again, I love the silhouette. I love the little, is it an overstitch, I think, or chain stitch here on the top here? This little red sign. I think that might be part of their logo or brand. I'm not too sure. What's the actual logo on their site? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, so I like the little tie-in with the little stitch underneath their logo name there, right? Hartcopy. You've got the fucking, you know, the chain stitch there going on. And then you've also got the same thing going on here on the shoe. So that's a nice little tie-in. And then, yeah, I like this. Is that a suede heel counter as well? Is that nubuck or suede? They look really nice. I love them. At the back, people calling nurses shoes is fucking hilarious. I don't like the sole. Everyone doesn't like. Okay, I think I like them more because they're just plain and minimal, and they're very versatile. Like I could easily wear them with most of my outfits without being too loud and showy. Like look how good they look from the top looking down though. That looks really cool. I don't know. They just look, you know, easy to wear, very versatile for me anywhere at least. They'll go with a lot of stuff that I wear. The gum outsole is nice. I've always loved gum anyway. Gum for me is one of my favorite combos. Gum and like an insole. So that gum outsole looks fucking brilliant. I'm a big fan of it. Obviously the toe box, as you can see, it looks really great. And the suede would wear in really, really cool over time. So I'm a big fan of them. But when I was checking out the shoe, I was thinking to myself, why does this silhouette remind me of something? Because I didn't know at first that this shoe is actually an original Adidas. This Adidas BW Army shoe is actually part of their like lineup. It's not like something that they just did to copy the Margiela or the Army shoe. That's why I originally thought they copied the Margiela shoe. So I was thinking, I was rustling my head, what does this remind me of? Then I remembered, oh yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Bussinets. Do you remember these? These are the fucking, one of the first Adidas skateboarding shoes that I bought back in the day. A Bussinets, right? Which essentially, I think that the skater's name is Dennis Bussinets as well, right? really cool, really great skater. And this is his first pro shoe with Adidas. And essentially it takes inspiration from like the Samba, or I guess like an indoor soccer shoe. And you've kind of got that same sort of like outsole that you have on that army shoe, but then you have this extended tongue. I think maybe Copa Mondial, maybe the inspiration. But the only thing I didn't like about these when I first bought them is that the toe box is really slim and really narrow, and it makes your toes kind of crunch up. But at first I thought the outsole or the mold, the tooling for the BW, the Adidas shoe, was taken for the Busniets. Then I thought, you know what, it couldn't be them. Maybe it's this model, which most of you probably wouldn't be aware of. It's called the AS250 from Adidas, which is another model that features a similar sort of outsole, kind of a similar type of toe box, but then again, it kind of is a bit more flat and more of a zero drops, as you can see there, whereas this Hartcopy comes up a little bit more on the heel. So I decided to check again, and I thought to myself, maybe it's a combination of the Special. Maybe it's a Special. Maybe that's where the fucking outsole comes from, or the tooling, because I couldn't imagine Adidas kind of starting building this shoe from the ground up from scratch. But that might be what happened. They might actually have built this up from scratch again and got it from their archives. I'd love to know how Hartcopy came about this model. Did Adidas propose this model to them to collaborate on because they're going to try and build on the success of the Adidas Samba the last couple of years and introduce this to the market? Or did Hartcopy go into the Adidas archives and pull this out and say, no, we want to do this collaboration? I wonder. I'd love to know what actually happened. But there's also some more pictures here. Oh no, I think we've seen those pictures already posted to Instagram of Hartcopy 2, showing some more information there. Hartcopy Adidas, details pending, but we haven't got any more information regarding the release date or how much there'll be. So it's pretty great to see this collaboration again. You know, Adidas reaching back and working with a smaller company. Let's actually read the article here. It says, following the well-received tease, Hartcopy co-owners Timothy Soon and Sam Leroy have shared a closer look at the up-and-coming BW, producing collaboration with Adidas, as well as a few exclusive details on what to expect. In a conversation with Adidas with Hypebeast, oh shit, there are more details. Okay, cool. Leroy explained that the collaboration came together almost as if it was fated, with one of the spontaneous encounters with a contact named Hugo in London a few years ago, leading to several others that would see the concept accelerate in the right terms. As for the design, Leroy shared that, so somebody called Hugo is the one that put it into place. Big up Hugo. Nice to see. As for the design, Leroy shared that we wanted to conserve the German army sneaker, the GAT, the GAT, classic form, not deviating from the gummy sole and the two-tone uppers in any way. The only tweaks we've made were to pull away the typical suede T-toe, instead pushing nubuck. Okay, oh, so it's nubuck. I thought it was suede. Okay, this will wear in really fucking well then. Okay, that's lovely. I like that. That nubuck edition is definitely got my dick hard. Nubuck on the panel. Originally, we spoke about the more exotic materials like wools, but the end result was a really buttery nubuck that I'm in love with. On top of this, we placed some asymmetric Hartcopy branding on the left and right feet for a nice personal touch. Leroy further expressed that the shoe ties into what Hartcopy is all about, and that exemplifies the mission of providing context to footwear products, new and old. Love that. He shared that the GAT is a silhouette with such rich history that is very often overlooked. We hear a lot about replicas, but the fact that this is a collaboration with Adidas showcases the real original GAT. Love it. It's funny though he says that because most likely because of the reception the shoe got online, because everybody was fucking creaming their pants when they saw it, it's going to get replicated to fuck. They're going to fucking, the rep machines are already revving. That's a funny thing, you know? So we'll definitely see replicas of the replica very soon. Looking forward, he added that Hartcopy aims to take a role of culture catalog while also contributing and developing the culture through product launches, activations and more. I love it. As for the release of the Hartcopy BW Army, Leroy didn't share much detail on the price or the drop mechanisms, but it's teased that the shoe will be launching in March and they'll be free to lucky people around the world. So they're going to give away free pairs. Nice. Hopefully they do a real in-store release, because there's something about the page that I like that kind of harkens back to the good old days. I hope they do a pop-up shop release thing, like an actual old school queue up type of situation. That's going to be pretty sick. I'd love to see that. Might see some old faces back in the queues again if he does that, because I think that shoe's going to bring out all the fucking old freaks like myself to go buy some of these books, or some of these shoes, sorry. So there's more pictures there, of course, I think from the guys. You see the boxes of the shoes. You see them lacing them up there, and then obviously the picture in front of the box as well. Looks pretty cool. I love it. I love the shoe. Can't wait to purchase them. Hopefully when they do eventually drop, and then we'll see when that happens. But big up Hartcopy, big up Adidas for reaching out to smaller brands or smaller platforms that are just getting a name, putting a name out there, and obviously giving everyone else their hope. They do have to be some big wig to get these opportunities. And obviously whoever that Hugo person was for reaching out, that's almost sick to see. Anyway, my friends, it's been almost 3 hours. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with my drunken, crazy, idiotic ramblings. I do appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, never a chore. If you've enjoyed the show and you're watching the live stream, please make sure that you like the stream down below. If you're listening via the fucking, audio app, please make sure that you give me a 5-star review on any platform that you're listening it to. That would be greatly appreciated so that people can see that there's a user base and a listener base out there, people that like what I do. That would be greatly appreciated. And for those of you who want to come back later, keep checking out my channel, all my stuff, all that good shit. You know how it is. If you listen via the audio podcast, you will hear my tune of the day playing. If you're listening to the audio side, you'll hear my tune of the day playing. I'm actually might switch it lastminute.com. I'm actually going to do Rory, see how this thing goes. That'll be my tune of the day instead of what's in the description. So my tune of the day is Rory, see how this thing goes. Listen to it with the audio side of the pod. You'll hear it under my voice. If you're watching it with the video thing, you won't hear anything, and I'll just fade to black. But for now, my friends, peace out. Take care. Bye.